We got a great show this week. Lorin Clarke joins us.
The daughter of John Clarke. She's got a brand new documentary.
We're going to be talking about the best films of the year 2008.
And we've got a movie battle between Bill and Ted, Face the Music, and Clerks 3.
I feel like this is revenge for last week. And Jarret Gahan is here to talk all things physical.
PE class!
Hello. Welcome to Good Movie Monday, your home for the Nerdy Cinematic Ramblings. My name is Ben Helwig, and I'm joined, as ever, by Mr. Glenn Cochran.
Hello.
What a week it's been, mate.
It's been a massive week. Can you believe it's September already, though?
I can't.
It's usually at this point of the year I start to really fall off the cliff. I start to wind down, but I'm actually going pretty well.
I think that's because you just came back from a holiday. If you wouldn't have had that holiday, you'd be in... your hairline would start looking like mine.
Hence the hats every single week. Yeah, no, I'm going good, mate. It's been a massive week. There's so much going on cinema-wise and whatever. But first, let's tell people to go to goodmoviemonday.com.
Yeah, why don't you go to goodmoviemonday.com?
That's right.
You can check out all our past episodes. You can find links to all our social media platforms. Like, subscribe, comment. We would love that. You can also buy merch.
Do it.
From our store. If you want our mugs on a mug, it's the best place to go and get it. You could do it yourself. You can always make it yourself, but it will be a poor man's imitation.
That's right. And if you drink whiskey, drink it out of our glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
You could drink apple juice from it too. Like, you don't have to drink whiskey.
I was going to say, I like to buy one and then put Coke in it because I'm a child and just pretend. I do it like a shot.
You like to buy our mugs and put pens in them.
I do. I use our old mug as my toothbrush cup.
Well, good. It's the old mug. Has no place being a beverage holder.
That's right.
It's green and shit. Hey to anyone that's new listening to the show or watching the show as well. It's great to have you on board. I forget that we do have, some newbies on, and we quite often talk about stuff without context or preference. So I just sort of welcome those people. And
I don't believe that you.
Good luck to you all. If you've made it this far, you're doing better than others.
Yes, you're doing better than our regular listeners.
That's right.
So you kicked me to the curb a lot this week and went to the cinemas by yourself.
Hang on, who kicked who to the curb?
Well, okay, for half of them. Half of them,
who left me hanging in a food court?
I decided to stay home and hump my Glenn Love pillow instead of joining the real thing at the cinema. It was raining.
All right, I see 4 films, and they're all opening up in cinemas. They opened up last Thursday, so they're out now for you to go and check out. The first one, I'll just kick it off with Toxic Avenger, the brand new one, the Macon Blair one, with Peter Dinklage, Elijah Wood, Kevin Bacon, others, Jacob Tremblay. This is a very fascinating one. I'll say right out the bat, I just loved it. I thought it was really, really good. It is super gruesome. It's very comic book-like. It is not the original. Like, they've made every effort to reimagine the franchise so that it almost exists within the same universe. It could easily be another town America. Because How clever is this? It's not in Tromaville. It's St. Roma Village.
Right.
Yeah. So it is another part. I reckon it could be in the same Troma universe.
But do you think the film is ruined by having a much better class of actor in it?
Yeah. Look, it is. I'll still take the original over this any day, right?
The charm. Is the charm.
Yeah, but it's different. So this movie, what they've done is they've almost taken the Toxic Crusaders TV cartoon and the comic books and adapted that. So it is much more that universe. Everything's fluoro. Everything is hyper. It's not as like grimy and dingy like the original one. So it's a comic book movie in every regard, but it's ultra violent. Peter Dinklage is actually excellent, like really good. His moments, in Peter Dinklage form, at the start, are really emotionally driven. There's a lot of depth in that little moment.
Are you worried, like I am, that Peter Dinklage is now kind of aging out of a lot of things? Like, he's not...
That's a good thing.
He's not a young man anymore. He's not like station agent Peter Dinklage.
No, but he still gets all on the kids' rides and stuff. Yeah. Like, he's got that privilege,
Well, he's not allowed on a lot of them because he doesn't come up.
Kevin Bacon is great. Elijah Wood is really good. Look, it's a fun movie. I think it's just a good time at the cinemas. It is, make no mistake, a shit movie, but it's supposed to be a shit movie. Right. So I think it's a lot of fun. Like I said, what I enjoy is that they just did not attempt to be the original. And he's a different name, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, pretty good. Then I also... one thing I didn't like about it, too much CG gore.
Right.
Like a lot of CG blood, which I didn't appreciate. I'm like, if you really go on that trauma...
Yeah. If you're going to make a Toxic Avenger movie, you should kill at least 3 DPs.
there is a lot of practical in it, but just the stuff that counts was CG.
Right.
But then I went and saw the new Ethan Coen, Trisha Cook movie, Honey Don't, which is the second part in the lesbian B-movie trilogy is what it's called.
Right.
First one was Drive Away Dolls.
I still haven't seen that either.
I reckon you really like this one, probably more than the other one.
Because you didn't like the last one, did you?
You said that the other week. I'm like, I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it.
I didn't say you hated it. I said you didn't like it.
No, I'll watch it again. Yeah. It was fine. It was just fine. Like, both of these I feel Coen Brothers light. It's sort of like a little bit of a...
Well, it's like half is missing.
Yeah, that's right. It's sort of, but it's sort of, it does at the same time scratch that itch if you are really dying to see another Coen Brothers movie. It kind of does its thing. But you'll like this one because it's a gumshoe neo-noir
I do like that.
Murder investigation.
So is it the same characters flowing on from the first one? It's just...
They're just all dykes.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Drive Away Dolls was originally called Drive Away Dykes. It's part of the joke. And Margaret Qualley is in both. This one, she plays the gumshoe. She's really damn good. Aubrey Plaza's in it as a cop. Trying to think who else is in it.
I know that they get it on.
They do get it on. It's fine. It's fun. It's nothing to write home about, but I think as far as gumshoe movies, you'll think it's a welcome entry into the genre.
Okay,
fantastic opening credit sequence too, I must say. Then I did see a little known one that's come out called The Ballad of Wallace Island. Now, you might want to look this up for the cast because it does have Kerry Mulligan in it, but the two guys I know from the Ricky Gervais universe, but I don't know their names. This is a fantastic little indie movie. There we go. So the lead guy... Oh, you got one of those screens that takes its time to load. There we go.
Oh, okay. Tom Basden.
Yep.
And Tim Key.
Yeah, and Tim Key. So they wrote this together, those two.
He's Alan Partridge's offsider.
Yes, that's right. And the other guy's from like Afterlife. He played the brother-in-law of Ricky Gervais that owned the magazine. He plays a musician, a folk musician, a very popular one.
Oh, yeah, I do know this film.
And
yes, I think
he made it really big and famous in a folk duo, I should say, with Kerry Mulligan's character, but they separated as boyfriend and girlfriend and their career died, had to go off as solo artists. Anyway, he gets invited by some mystery man to this Wallace Island to play a festival. And he rocks up, and it's just this guy waiting for him on the shore with gumboots. He's just a little old sort of local, and he's like, well, I need to go home. And he goes, well, you can't. The last boat's 2 days away. You got to stay. It turns out the guy, and it's not a spoiler, it's revealed in the opening, he is a lottery winner.
Right.
That just really idolizes these two. And what the singer doesn't know is that the chick's been invited too. So they rock up together, and they have to do this concert for one. Like, he's the only patron.
Yeah.
But where this film goes is so wonderful. Like the character arcs are great, and where they all end up in the story is delightful. So I really recommend it, particularly if you like those indie music kind of films. It's got that kind of
like Once and stuff like that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
I think this played at MIF.
Yeah, I reckon it would
before it came out theatrically.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. It's touching, very endearing. Worth a look. And then I ended on a beauty, Caught Stealing, the new Darren Aronofsky film. This is wonderful. Like, this is going in my top 10 list, I reckon. It's going to have to bump something out. I have to work out what that is. Fantastic.
Brightheart.
You would never know this is Darren Aronofsky. This has like...
That's what I've heard.
And the best thing is...
The best movie Darren Aronofsky's ever directed.
Yeah, and the best thing is it's
unlike any other.
It's set in the late 90s, right? Which allows them to get away with so many... Like, they get to skirt around all the social taboos of today, and they can just be as offensive as they want, but it's set in the 90s, so they can do it, right? And they do. So they just break all the modern norms. And it
wasn't such a big deal.
It's the kind of movie back then that Tarantino and Guy Ritchie were making. You combine those two filmmakers, this is the movie you get.
Yeah, right.
And it is just, oh my God, it's from start to finish. It is fast, it's fun, it's furious, it's action-packed, violent, hilarious. Griffin Dunn is in there in a most amazing performance.
You know, Griffin Dunn is going to be in Melbourne in a couple of weeks, in like a month or so.
Not to promote this?
No, because he's written an autobiography.
Oh, right.
And so he's doing a talk at the Wheeler Centre.
Yep.
And I think they're doing a screening of a film. He's going to intro it at the Nova. Not
Cool.
the one he's directed.
Yeah,
not American Werewolf in London or
Yeah.
you know, anything like that. But just randomly, I thought it was the Writers' Festival because it's the Writers' Festival presenting it.
Yeah.
But the Writers' Festival isn't on till May next year, so you're like, they just have a lot of money.
In this, he plays the Druggo bar owner boss of Austin Butler's character. You've got Zoe Kravitz in there. Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio play two Hebrew gangsters, like mobsters. They are hilarious.
Perfect.
You've
Perfect
got
casting.
Matt Smith plays like a British punker that gets Austin Butler into this whole catastrophe.
I fucking hate Matt Smith. Yeah.
I do too. And I watched this thinking, I'm going to come on the show and say to Ben, look, what I took away from this was never put Matt Smith in a movie and never put Austin Butler in a movie because I don't like either of them.
Yeah.
They're both awesome.
They're both great.
They're both great.
Yeah.
The general gist of the story is Austin Butler's a guy with a bit of trauma that's from the country, but he's moved to the city to try and just, make something of himself.
What is it with these people? Everyone always has trauma. If you've got to be in a movie, you've got to have some kind of trauma.
It pays off. It pays off in this, though, right?
I just don't... Like, it's just this common trope that is in all movies now. Like, no one just has a pleasant life.
Anyway, his next door neighbor is Matt Smith, this punk character, and Matt just all of a sudden says to him, look, I've got to go back to England. My dad's had a stroke. Can you look after my cat? And he goes, sure. And he takes the cat, and when he's going to try and get into Matt's apartment to get the food for the cat, two henchmen rock up and beat the living shit out of him. And he doesn't know why. He suspects there's obviously something nefarious going on between the punk and that. And then from that point on, he keeps getting deeper and deeper into this fucking underworld. And he can't get out no matter how hard he tries. He goes to the cops. Regina King, I think, is that her name? From like Boys in the Hood.
That is an actress's name?
She's a fantastic actress. She's great in this, yeah. Fully loaded cast. One of the best films of the year. I loved it.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah, I think you'll dig those two particularly, Honey Don't and Caught Stealing.
Caught Stealing. Well, while you were watching those, I sat on my lovely couch.
Yeah.
And I checked out the new Samara Weaving movie, Eenie Meenie.
Yeah.
That has just dropped on Disney+. I wish that I could report back with such glowing... Look, the problem is... And it's written by it's written by this guy, written and directed by Sean Simmons, who wrote that Wayne TV series, which I fucking love. It's like one of the greatest TV shows ever made, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And everything, like all of the cast in this, like it's Carl Glusman who's the boyfriend. He's the problem, but it's not him.
Yep.
That's the problem. It's his character is the problem. But Andy Garcia's in it. Randall Park. Steve Zahn is great in it. The action is phenomenal.
Yep.
Everything is great. The only problem with it is the whole movie relies on the fact that Samara Weaving is going out with this Carl Glusman. They're like, they grew up in foster homes together and they've been going out. And he is like this real piece of shit loser who just cannot do anything. Anything he touches turns to shit. And he's just such a complete waste of space. And she is trying to get her life together, and she's going back to she's a talent. She used to be a getaway driver, mainly helping him out of his predicaments. And she's broken up with him. She's getting her life back on track, and then she kind of runs into him again, and gets sucked right back into it. And the problem is, like, Samara Weaving, I've got a lot of time for. She's a fantastic actress. What she's not a good enough actress to pull off is that someone like her would go back with that piece of shit loser that is that Carl Glusman character. He is just so terrible in he's just such a fuck up. Like, it's frustrating. It made me angry to watch it. He's such a fucking piece of shit.
Wow.
But otherwise, the movie is great. It's just that little part, and it kind of permeates because the whole movie is based, it circles their relationship, and it's just the one thing that you don't buy. Like, she is just too smart, too competent, and too talented to put up with his shit.
Yeah.
And everyone around them, everyone knows that he's a complete piece of shit and useless and a nightmare to deal with. And she kind of knows it too, but she just can't help herself.
If you're looking for a through line to the next segment, the Sean Simmons is also the creator of the Continental, the John Wick show.
He did, and that we do talk about that with Jarret in PE class coming up now.
Physical media is very important, kids. One day, maybe the cloud ain't there. How are you going to watch Dogma?
Being able to hold it in your hand and see the artwork and the posters and have the names, it's it's a real thing.
It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
And here to discuss all things physical, it's Mr. Jarret Gahan.
Hey, mate.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. I'm still reeling from the news of Viavision's imprint release of Halloween 1 to 4, Jack-o'-lantern Steelbook thing. It's amazing. It's nothing short of amazing.
Was it 1 to 4 or 1 to 5?
Artwork.
I thought it was 1 to 5.
It's 1 to 5. Yeah, 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Sorry. So if
Yeah.
I said for 1 to 5, 13 discs. I mean, the first Halloween's across 4 discs, the 4K and 3 Blu-rays. It's the most comprehensive amount of special feature content. This is like the definitive release. Like, it's got every documentary under the sun. It's just something. And I mean, I know it's expensive, but it is limited to 1,000 units. It is a lot of discs. It's got these beautiful steelbooks, got the original key art. I mean, the more I think about it, the more I've talked myself into it.
With no titles on that artwork.
Yeah, nice
and clean.
And let's face it, it's the real timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, I did joke that if this one sells, then maybe they can do a box set with 6, 7, 8, and the 3 Halloween films.
Had we known we had Danielle Harris on the show, we could have done a fantastic conversation. We probably still could, but it's too late for them. They could have had it on the Viavision release.
Although she is all over that already. I think I did a bit of research on the box sets and she's all over. Like, she's the one on everything that she's in. She's there.
Let's face it, she's an easy get.
Yeah.
If we can get her, anybody can.
Hey, but you had Peter Manoogian the other day, so that would have been tricky.
God, that's
fun. Fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's come out of the woodwork. I haven't had a chance to watch Enemy Territory, but I did pick that up recently. I'm so excited.
Good stuff.
I can't wait
Yeah,
to read it.
He was a Facebook find.
He was, and he could have just gone on and on in that chat. Like, we could have just gone for like an hour and a half easily.
I tell you what, though, like, if you're not a big fan of Trump, I'll say that the one good thing about Trump is that a lot of people who've been dormant on the internet have jumped on the internet to complain about him, and now you can contact them again.
They've come out of the woodwork. Yeah,
it's been great.
It's Manoogian.
Yeah.
yeah, totally. Wow.
All righty, mate. So
anyway,
what is coming out?
Well, that's it. Like, I just had to take a moment to discuss the Halloween release. It's phenomenal. Like, I've got to actually seriously weigh it up whether I need it in my life, and I feel like I do because it's limited to 1,000 units. Got a feeling that one's going to sell out because Halloween fans are diehard fans, and they've been known to rebuy that film.
It's a real baby friendly.
It's
a baby friendly release too. They're going to see that pumpkin and go, "Oh, playtime!"
It's a hand painted, flickering LED jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
It was reading it just sounded like you were reading some sort of, I don't know, sensual sort of like Mills and Boon kind of thing. I was just being romanced with each paragraph.
It'll look like, if you turn the lights off, like the opening credit sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
If it melts.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the releases. Now, what I thought I'd do is I'd actually break it up a bit. So I'd talk about new releases as in new films that are coming out on the physical format. Then I'll talk about all the classics that are coming out on Blu-ray or 4K. So needless to say, the list of new films that are coming out is relatively short because I've pretty much, if it's not getting a release on 4K, it's probably not worth talking about.
Fair enough.
And in some instances, if it's getting a release on 4K, it's still not worth talking about. Where's Anderson? Anyway, first up, I wanted to mention Karate Kid Legends coming out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD. Sony's doing their usual trick with this one where they're keeping the Atmos track exclusively for the 4K. Every other distributor seems cool with putting it on the Blu-ray and 4K, and Sony we're keeping that little thing just for the 4K. I hadn't had a chance to see this one yet. I was curious if either of you guys or both of you guys.
I've been waiting for this release. I want to pick it up on 4K too. But
I have seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen the film. It is pretty good.
And it was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's by the numbers. It's what you would expect, but good.
Yeah, like it. Look, it certainly doesn't break any molds or anything like that. But it does have. It is good to watch it, and then when you watch the Long Walk, the Karate Kid is in it, which is great.
He is, and he's like a bit of a highlight.
And he's a bit of a highlight. Yeah.
Right. And does it have a cheeky cameo from Hilary Swank in it at all?
No,
Are they looking across all the universes?
Unfortunately, no.
They struggled to get her back for
damn.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, I guess. It's an odd duck.
But she will be in the multi-pack. She will be in the multi-pack.
Oh, of course. Although to date, it's the only one in the series that hasn't made it to 4K, I think.
I'm looking forward to the imprint, 12-disc complete Karate Kid universe release.
What's it going to come in, like a Cobra? Or is it going to come in something?
It'll be
Mr. Miyagi, it could be like a bonsai tree.
No, it'll come in the unbreakable log that falls on the his old friend from Karate Kid 2.
That's right.
And you have to, the only way you can get the discs out if you have to crack it.
No, it'll be deep fake Miyagi. Deep fake Miyagi.
Every time you open it, it's like one of those birthday cards, and it's like Peter Cetera's "Glory of Love" plays. I'm in. I'll be there just opening.
Or one of those little drums.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, you've sold me on that one too.
So many things
I'll
it could
start
be.
saving now.
There'll be multiple SKUs.
I mean, that'd be great if it was in that little paddle.
Yeah, get one of those.
Yeah, that'd be
my parents came home from holiday one time and bought me one of those back, and I was like, the greatest thing on earth. I thought I was the Karate Kid.
Next up, Ballerina, coming out in 4K Blu-ray and DVD. Roadshow doing it well and putting the Atmos track on the 4K and the Blu-ray. Now, of course, this one on the poster, on the artwork, the home end artwork, you've got John Wick on there, and it has directly above Ballerina in the title. It's from the world of John Wick. But that
is the title, though.
So that is the full title, is it?
That's the full title.
I was wondering whether this was a live, die, repeat, Edge of Tomorrow scenario.
That's the title. From the world of John Wick, Ballerina.
Because my father-in-law caught up with it on streaming, and he said to me, "Oh, have you watched Ballerina?" And I said, "No, look, I haven't even watched the last John Wick yet, John Wick 4. I've bought it, but I haven't got around to watching it." And he said, "Well, this one's a lot like John Wick." And I said, "Yeah, well, that makes sense,
And
it's from the John Wick universe.
John Wick is in it for at least half the film.
That's what I was going to say, because he's on the artwork for the physical release. So I'm assuming he's in the film.
And it's not just
but
a
he
cameo.
Was like blown away. He goes, he's like, "Hang on, it's what? It's part of John Wick." And I'm like, how much of this film did he watch? Did he watch the right film?
It is not just a cameo. He's in it.
He's in the half of it. Okay. As is Daniel Burkhart, the star of Deathstalker, which will be at Monsterfest.
Yeah, that's right.
In Melbourne this year.
Yes, that's right. Melbourne, yes. Melbourne.
May I say, I really enjoyed Ballerina. It's my favorite of the John Wick films outside of the original.
Wow, okay. No, well, I'll definitely watch it, but I had to watch John Wick 4. But do you think I need to watch the TV series?
You fell asleep. You fell asleep. The Continental.
The 3-part TV series? Do I need to watch that?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I haven't liked any of them since the first one, and even that's a fucking...
But this one does have an amazing flamethrower fight that's almost like a sword fight with flamethrowers, so he slept through that, and he woke up and said, "Did you see that?" He's like, "No." I
saw the beginning of it, and then I went to sleep, and I saw the end of it.
And it
went for so long. It's like watching Transformers.
Oh, God, help me. Yeah, I've had some good sleeps through those ones. So moving on, the next one I'm going to mention was the Phoenician Scheme, which is, of course, the new Wes Anderson, which is the first Wes Anderson film to get a 4K.
Terrible.
Why?
It's possibly the worst film of the year. I hated it.
Yeah, look, I haven't seen it, and I don't think I'll watch it because I gave up on Wes Anderson a long time ago, and I was a big fan back in the day, but I don't think the guy's capable of making another film that's any good. He should just stop.
He's the only filmmaker that I would say I could persistently walk out on a new film. Get 20 minutes in. If I'm not sold within 20 minutes, I'm out. I won't even bother.
You're happy to walk out because you know what you're in for by that point in time. Yeah, he'd have to look, unless he got back with Owen Wilson, they started writing together, then I think I'd be genuinely interested.
Well, that's right, because I loved him in the early days. Really did.
What he needs to do is fail so much that he just... then he just works with producers who just say no.
Or just go back to...
he's forced to go back to the well, and he's like, "Oh, we think it'd be interesting for you to do Rushmore too." And I'm like, I think actually it would be interesting for you to do Rushmore.
But also, you only get $3 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly.
Darjeeling Limited meets Life Aquatic with Zizou. Like the train gets to the sea, the ship comes up, and the three brothers get on the ship and
It's an
go on
aqua train.
adventures
It's
with
an aqua train.
with Zizou. Yeah.
Yeah, see, look, and they're probably the last two I like, so I'm happy for a crossover with those. So yeah, moving on, Locked, coming out on Blu-ray and DVD, no 4K. I don't think this one's even had an announcement for physical release in the States. I could be wrong. This was a weird one.
I enjoyed it.
I trailered really well. Like, I loved the trailer, but then I felt once we got into the film, it got cheap. You know, it was good at times, but then it kind of cheapened out, particularly in the finale.
I kind of agree. I enjoyed it though. Like, I felt like Anthony Hopkins was channeling Hannibal Lecter in this. Like, it was a real sort of throwback performance.
It was a very dark sort of character.
I got to
role.
interview the director for work, not for the podcast, but just for the day job. And going into the backstory and the production history of that there's more fascinating aspects to the production than there is the film itself.
Sometimes the making of is better than the film.
Like the car itself, like obviously it was retrofit around a Land Rover or whatever, like to be its own thing. But they had 5 different cars. One of them is in 6 bits that they could pull apart to shoot in, and it's just fascinating stuff.
Clever, yeah. Because I did quickly jump on after having seen it to do a bit of reading about it. It did sound like a fascinating. Like, there was a lot of different writers at different points in time, different producers, different. It sounded like it's a really interesting production story. So hopefully, overseas, when it gets a release, they might do a special edition.
I might encourage people to look into the production first and then watch the film. It might give you a different appreciation while you watch it.
Yeah. Look, I didn't hate it. I did enjoy it, but it very much felt like a non-theatrical feature to me. It's sort of like a Netflix or Amazon movie.
I agree, and I haven't seen the original, like that is a remake.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's what I read too, because I did say that to Danny. I go, I feel like this could have been a remake, and possibly the other film might be the better movie.
Well, it felt when I read the synopsis, I was like, this sounds exactly like
the Liam Neeson one.
No, Glass Coffin.
Glass Coffin.
Yeah,
that we released.
Yes. Yeah, very similar. Very similar. Yep.
Just not as rapey.
It did remind me of Retribution. Was that the Liam Neeson one where he's forced to do all the things in the car? And that was a remake as well.
I mentioned,
wasn't it like there's been about 3 versions of that as well?
That was directed by Nimrod Antel.
I think when you go back far enough, it's actually a Brewster's Millions movie. And they just it's just been perverted.
Anyhow, yes, it's very similar.
The last new release movie I'll mention is A Working Man. The Jason Statham one's coming out 4K Blu-ray and DVD. And it has Atmos on the 4K and Blu-ray. I haven't got around to watching. I know it's been on Amazon because I think it was in the cinemas for 2 weeks. And it was on Amazon 2 weeks later.
I'm looking forward to a revisit because I wasn't that sold on it. I enjoyed it, but
I was going to say you can watch that that opening credit sequence in peace.
Was there someone there doing?
He didn't like it when it was on. I leaned over and it was like, "Oh, this is a bit shit." And he was like, "Hey, I'm trying to watch this. I'm trying to get into it."
It's a creative. It's one of those creative intros, and like,
okay, good. Like, I was hoping it was just going to be white Times New Roman on a black title card, and you're like, hey, you're ruining vital plot points. Yeah. No, that's beautiful. Okay, so then moving on to films that are coming out on 4K and Blu-ray for the first time, locally at least. September 3rd, Viavision's releasing Rain Man on 4K and Blu-ray, and this one's been, I don't know, this was kind of a minimal effort one. It's pretty much a port of what you've seen in the US. MVD put out the 4K a couple of years ago. I picked it up. I think maybe they've got a lenticular cover or something of that nature, but there's nothing new content-wise, and it is kind of expensive comparatively with what could be bought overseas. So I can't really give it too enthusiastic thumbs up, but I can give...
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say, I guess with releases like this, they're just counting on the people that have not already got a copy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I don't think it needs, a fancy 3D lenticular cover or anything. I think you could just bang this in something really small and, and sell it for like $30.
Don't you reckon that's the reason it should have a lenticular cover? Because these people don't own it yet.
A point of difference?
They have a good, something.
I mean, look, if there's any film out there that needs a 3D lenticular cover, it's Rain Man.
It's Rain Man. It's Rain Man.
I mean, you'd think if Viavision did new artwork, they could have done a 3D, flight board. And it's just the Qantas.
Yes,
totally. Or could have been the escalator. They're coming down the escalator.
Coming down, yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, no, I was going to say give with purchased a pair of underwear from Kmart.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
I think they should do one that has like a little button that you push that makes a sound, and it's Tom Cruise and Valerie Golina having sex, and then dust it off and going, like,
like joining in the moment. You know how sometimes you get like bottle openers and shit inside? You could get like Tom Cruise's middle tooth on a necklace or something.
That you can put in your own
That's
mouth
right.
and you
Yeah,
get a
it's
middle
exactly-
tooth.
Actually, that would have been a great lenticular cover. You move it, and the tooth
And the-
just stays in the one spot. Like
We've
the
just
whole head moves
we've
around.
come
but
up
the
with
tooth
a
stays.
gimmick for the next Tom Cruise release that you're involved with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be great.
100%. Anyway, that one's coming out. But one I am excited about the Via Vision's releasing, and they're actually gone to a lot of effort with this one's Point Break. They're putting it out in 4K now.
This is the remake,
US
right?
Release, no, God, no. Nobody needs that 2015 remake. I thought we'd forgotten it even existed. I thought we were just like,
Surprise, it's a bonus
of
disc.
I've-
yeah, exactly.
I've brought it into the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
It will happen.
Oh my god.
No, but the good thing about this release is the Shout Factory and the Icon release basically just ported all the legacy special features that were done for a special edition DVD in 2006. This one's got all of those, plus it's got like 4 new interview featurettes, including one with Laurie Petty, which is pretty cool because I didn't think she'd be an easy get. Ben would know.
No, you just have to run
worked
into
on
it
a
at an
Tank Girl
airport and-
release.
Yeah, no, she's actually surprisingly approachable, Laurie Petty.
Well, I've
Okay.
seen those
She
videos
just-
at TikTok on at
Yeah.
the airport. You just walk up to her.
Yeah,
She'll
have a
throw
chat.
something at you.
She just she wasn't willing to participate in any extras during the writers' strike.
Oh,
the actor
yeah,
strike.
okay, no, fair
She
enough.
felt
'cause it
that was
solidarity.
that was
Yeah, of
work, so
course.
she wouldn't do
Well,
it.
when was the last time she acted?
Yeah, I couldn't
I mean,
answer that question.
she was in the Orange is the New Black, but I don't know what she'd done since then. I think she was in Orange is the New Black.
That's
Maybe
right,
I'm
it was just
confusing
a-
with another actress. I can't.
It was just a joke. that
I'm
Mr.
pretty
Mark-
sure
It
she
was
was.
the,
Yeah, no, 100%.
Wasn't she
She's
in the very
working.
late A League of Their Own sequel?
Oh, maybe
A League of Her Own.
League of Their.
I can't. I really
Was that
screwed
the
Get the
remake?
right
I also-
pronoun. Get the right pronoun.
That's
Ben.
also
It wasn't a
a,
legacy sequel, was it? It was a remake, I think.
Was it? Oh
not?
no, there's a TV series, but I don't think she was. It was.
Oh,
It was
a TV
also.
series, yeah.
It was a. I wanted to join Glenn in making a joke that didn't land, and because I fucked up, I couldn't think of a pun fast enough with the title.
Solidarity,
You
my
did.
friend. In it
You
together.
guys did really, really well with that one.
Yeah.
I applaud you. But so the Point Break release, great. There's even a film historian commentary, so it's a really comprehensive release. And look, I own the US one, but I'm probably going to double dip at some point on that one. I feel, and it does have a 3D lenticular cover, but this one's pretty wild. It looks cool. There's the waves crashing on the rocks of the shore, and it looks rad.
They should have a commentary from Peter Phelps, and it's silent all the way to the last 2 minutes, and then you get a 20-second commentary.
Yeah.
That's my American accent. This you probably wouldn't guess it, but this was actually shot in
Yes.
America,
Okay.
pretending it was Australia.
This
The
got me the
drugstore
Baywatch
sign in the
pilot.
background is not a giveaway. Why am I doing an American accent? Maybe he's, I'm channeling his American accent from the film. Also, there's coming out from Via Vision. This one's just on Blu-ray through the imprint line. 2 of the Hitchcock remakes from the late 70s, the 39 Steps and The Lady Vanishes.
Mhm.
They're releasing that in a 2-disc sort of hard box set.
There-
Looks pretty interesting.
It looks pretty good. They're also releasing the original Lady Vanishes in the, I think,
that
and
outrageous box set.
in the
yeah.
in the
Is it the Hitchcock 9 or something it's called? Or something like that?
it's that, or is it the Pressburger Pal? No, you're right. It is in the Hitchcock, one of the Hitchcock box sets, and they've also
Yeah.
got Hannah, which was the TV series that's kind of based on the same character that's playing him in the 39 Steps remake in that version, and they did that spin-off TV series. So they've got that. They've got like everything, everything.
It's
am I,
amazing,
am I
yeah.
mistaken? Didn't the 39 Steps, the original Hitchcock one, have a sequel directed by somebody else? Was that? There's one. I think that might be it.
There
The
is
40
definitely-
steps, is it? Or
No, well, it's because it's based on. I can't
It's
remember.
the footpath at the top.
I can't remember the name of the guy who wrote it.
We
But
call it
it was a
Sidewalk
series
here,
of
mate.
books. Yeah, so they could very much the Green,
Don't
not the
know.
Green Man, but something like that is
Yeah.
the second book.
that's the name of the pub on the corner of Elgin and Lygon Street there. It's
It
near
certainly
Cinema
is.
Nova.
I think
Green Man.
I had a picture of beer there.
Describes everybody
Got
spilling out at
incredibly
3 in the
drunk.
morning.
Fill it out, exactly. Exactly. Also coming out on 4K for the first time anywhere globally is Black Sheep. Now, this is the New Zealand comedy horror, not the Chris Farrelly, David Spade comedy classic, which I already own on 4K. I caved and bought that. And I paid way too much because
I was
then a
gonna
month later it was discounted quite heavily, and I was very sad about it because mine's still in plastic and probably going to be plastic for about a year.
Would
But
you
anyway.
will you be making a purchase of this Black Sheep?
Look, I've never been a fan of this film. I would definitely rewatch it because maybe
Yeah.
having seen it 15 years ago
It's the
or
only
whenever it was
cover
it
I've
came
seen
out.
that you could probably take the bed and hump. Looks pretty
Oh
sick.
yeah, of course. Well, there's the deluxe edition is
Yeah.
wrapped in the faux sheepskin wool or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That didn't
I
stop
did
me with
see
Piranha 3 Double D.
So scaly.
Yeah.
So Black Sheep. There's on the topic of New Zealand, they've actually got their first Kiwi cult
Yes.
volume 1 box set coming out, which is good. And Glenn, you'd be excited about this one, surely, because it's got a few titles. That Irrefutable Truth About Demons, which I think is a bit of one of your
Well,
sort of
I bring it
fave
up a
ones,
fair
yeah?
bit. I saw it many years ago, and
I feel like you're the only person
Yeah.
I know that.
I mean,
ever
it's no
talks about
Muriel's
that
wedding,
film.
but he does bring it up a bit.
I was always so frustrated that the DVD release removed the word irrefutable. It was
Yes,
always the
that's
truth
right.
about demons. I'm like,
Yes.
no, I've seen this before. It's the irrefutable
Yes.
truth. But yeah, it's an
100%,
okay film, but
100%.
it gave us Carl Urban, it was the start
Yeah.
of his career. And I
And
can't,
Under the Volcano's in this set as well, which I think you're the only one that Under the Mountain. Sorry, not Under the Volcano.
which I think is the same director, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is. Is
Yeah.
it? Is this the same? Is it the same director though that also did Black Sheep as well? Or?
No, I think it's a different.
No,
director.
just
yeah.
okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's very confusing.
It
but
is.
the other title in there is Perfect Creature, which is the only one of the three I've never seen. So,
But also, a lot of people
Curious
don't
to
know
check
that
that
Under
out.
the Mountain is a really, really massive deal in New Zealand. Outside of the film, it's a mini series from the 80s, a kids' TV series. It was a book that's really popular in schools, and we just never got it in Australia. So when it came out here, it just didn't track because no one knew what the fuck it
No.
was.
yeah, totally. Yeah, it went straight over our heads or straight to DVD or video, as it were. But yeah, that one's coming out. That's a nice 3-disc set.
Very cool.
Kiwi Cult Volume 1. So I don't know what we can expect from Volume 2. I'm trying to think of. Well, maybe
The Deadlands or
Offs-
something like that.
was the Offspring that was the New Zealand one
Oh,
you
the
liked,
Ugly.
wasn't
Do
it?
you remember the Ugly?
The ugly. That's it. The ugly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that
hope
could be perfect candidate for it. Jack Be Nimble with Alexis Arquette.
Bridge
that
to
could be-
Nowhere.
Do they have
Oh
to
my
be
god,
horror?
that
Did
would
you
be
get
a dream if that
huge.
came
You know I
out.
love the grass cover.
And what Desperate Remedies? I'd love to see that. These are ones that I
Oh.
pointed out to them at the time with
And the
Rima
locals.
Tijuana and
don't
The
forget,
locals would be good
don't
too
forget
as
Peter
well.
Jackson's.
well, yeah, they got
Yeah.
those. I don't know who's. I'm sure
Well-
there's a bidding war for those at the moment.
Well, yeah, because now they've done and they played one of the 4K restorations. I think they played the 4K restoration of Braindead maybe
He just-
somewhere at
He
some
just needs
festival
to
or
stop
whatnot.
playing with the Beatles and give us some.
Yeah,
some
I
of his
know. Just
early
leave
films.
the Beatles alone. Get these things released, and don't be doing any of that tomfoolery that you did with the Beatles stuff, where you've given it a bit too much of the old AI. I
Usually,
don't
yeah.
care for that.
I watched Brain Dead about a month ago with Mel on the couch, and it is as gnarly now as it was then. Like it.
well, Jarrett and I did a tour of the locations in.
We did. We watched it. Funnily enough, and then the next
and
day
then-
we went and
and
it.
then went. Yeah,
I'm just talking
Yeah.
about in gore, in sense of gore. Like
Yeah.
nothing has topped it. Like
Yeah.
it is still as gory as
It's
it
just-
gets.
Amazing, ridiculous, and amazing. Yeah, it plays so well. I can't wait for those films to
I
get
still-
released, and particularly Meet the Feebles, because I feel like Meet the Feebles
Yeah.
has never had a great release ever. Like
No.
at least Brain Dead and Bad Taste have had reasonable releases over time. Meet the Feebles always feel like it had dodgy releases.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like backdoor releases, JBL Entertainment or something like that. Entertain
yeah.
those kind of releases. Also from Umbrella Cypher. Is this Vincent Natali as well?
Yeah,
You're-
yeah.
you're-
I was
yeah,
all into him back in the day.
Yeah, I think Cypher. Cypher. I can't really recall who's in Cypher.
Oh, Jeremy Northam.
Is it Lucy Liu and
Yeah.
someone else?
Is it Jerry Northam? Jeremy Northam, is that his name?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not seen this film since probably when it first came out on DVD.
He was a great
I've been
filmmaker,
curious
and he
to
just
check
sort of he dropped off and started doing television, and his film career never sort of bounced back.
It's so much easier, and you get paid so
He
much
did-
better.
he- like Splice was
Yeah,
the last
true.
big one he did, I think. Maybe that
Course,
Terry
yeah.
Gilliam documentary about Tideland. He directed that.
Yeah,
And yeah, back in the day he did Cube. Nothing
Yeah.
was an amazing film. That needs a re-release.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, because his name was popping up on so much. There was an actual
Steve-
TV series that was phenomenal. He directed quite a few episodes of that Netflix only gave one season to. It was like Archive 84, I think it
Yeah.
was. And it was just perfectly suited to his sensibilities.
Tell a lie. I think he did that in The Tall Grass, that Stephen King one.
Oh, Ben and I, did we not? I feel like we saw that at a film festival.
At Fantastic Fest. Did
maybe at
you and
Fantastic
Michael went
Fest.
to see it. I don't know if
Yeah.
I saw the other one, the one with
1927 or
Yeah,
something
whatever
like
it
that.
is, with Thomas
like that.
Jane and
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Like,
it's Thomas
In
Jane.
the Tall Grass is a great double feature with Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, right.
Just-
yeah.
Did you say Lawnmower Man
I'm quick.
2,
I'm
Job's
quick. I'm
War,
picking
aka
up what
Cyber
you're laying
War?
down. 10 minutes too late to really react.
Well, originally it was Stephen King's Lawnmower Man, so it's much funnier that way, but
Yeah.
he had his name removed
Yes.
from it, so therefore it's no longer applicable. Another joke hits the pavement. Sorry, sidewalk.
It's Friday. It's Monday.
Cypher.
Yeah.
Cypher. Last one I'll mention is that Lethal Weapon standard editions actually come out now, so you can buy it at an affordable price with as close to the original theatrical artwork as you're going to get. So needless to say, I will be adding it to the collection. I managed to avoid picking up that steelbook, although I was very tempted. But I knew what would happen. I'd buy it. I was never going to be happy with that steelbook. It'd sit here wrapped in plastic because I'm not going to get to watch it anytime soon.
Well, keep
And then
it
I
wrapped
watched
in
this other one
plastic,
come out. And,
like the woman that falls in the pool, wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
wrapped in
Going
plastic.
for three.
It's the hat trick. Another new to, well, I mean, all of these ones I'm mentioning are new to 4K. What am I doing? September 17th, Paramount's releasing through AID Sunset Boulevard. And this is one of the good releases that AID is doing because they're directly porting the US release. You're getting the 4K and you're getting the Blu-ray. There is an abundance of special feature content on this one. And this one's definitely going to be a upgrade for me for sure. I love this film.
It's a great film.
Yeah, very dark, great film to watch. Actually makes for a really good double with I was going to say Pretty Baby, not Pretty Baby. What's the one?
All
with,
About Eve.
Louis Mail's Pretty Baby. I don't know if that makes a good double with anything.
No, yeah, true. No, what's the No Wire Hangers? What's the name of that?
Whatever happened to Baby Jane?
No, but that's the
What's the other one?
It's her story. God.
Yeah.
Oh,
My brain doesn't work the way it used to.
Yeah, I've forgotten.
I told you, no wire hangers.
Wire hangers.
It's not Mummy
I
Dearest.
feel like it's
Mummy Dearest?
Mummy Dearest. There you go. I knew
Yeah.
it was in somewhere in that section, which is M to P on Blu-ray. That's exactly it, Mummy Dearest. Anyway, Sunset Boulevard makes for a great double with that.
Or Singing in the Rain.
Oh, well, there you go. Singing in the Rain.
Well, they're both about the same thing, really. So anyway.
I'm just,
Yeah. Oh,
just for
there
the
you go.
people watching
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
If you've seen Singing in the Rain, you'll know what I'm doing.
And if you're listening,
Then
watch the video.
Watch the video.
The last one I want to mention, September 24th. Now, this one is worthy of oh man, this is one I'm wrestling with wanting to get. And I don't even really love the film, but I just love the look of this upcoming release. Via Vision's imprint release of Michael Mann's The Keep. And this thing is amazing. This thing weighs 3 kilo. 3 kilo. It's got a lot of paraphernalia and bundled in with it, but it's got a lot
Comes
of
with a
special
key.
feature content. It does come with a key.
Does he
including
do
that feature-length documentary that's been in the works for years,
Well,
and that's going to be in this
Does he
set.
do a commentary like Michael Mann? Because when I mentioned this movie to him when I interviewed
No.
him, he wanted nothing to do with the movie. He's like,
No,
nah,
he
yeah.
still he has nothing. He will have nothing to do with,
What a grumpy
with
old
this film
bastard.
whatsoever.
But this
Yeah.
that on that doco, it does appear
Have
a
you watched
version
this
of
doco?
it.
Have you?
I haven't seen it, but I was
Oh, yeah.
talking to the guys at Imprint, and
Yeah.
a version of this doco is on the Vinegar Syndrome version, but they rushed it out, and the filmmakers told them it wasn't ready, and they didn't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Yeah. They just
so
wanted
the-
to rush it.
The Imprint one is superior to the Vinegar
Yeah.
Syndrome
So they had
one in
time
every
to-
way.
Had time to finish it off.
This,
So
I
the
mean,
Vinegar
it's a
Syndrome
ridiculous
release-
edition.
Yeah, you can see
Yeah,
why Vinegar
I'm
Syndrome.
glad I sold that one off when the going was good.
Good. Yeah, you can see. I mean,
Yes.
look, I've still got the Vinegar Syndrome because I don't sell things because I'm a piece of shit. But I'll just have both. Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
keep my Halloween lenticulars, Halloween 2 and 3 lenticulars, and
Yeah.
stick it next to my pumpkin.
Yeah,
Be
totally.
like, yeah.
But this keep is
Yeah.
it's like the Never Ending Story one, isn't it? It's giant. Like it's a huge.
It is. It
yeah,
is.
thing.
It
Yeah.
is a giant,
The-
oversized.
It's the
sort
enemy of your
piece.
DVD shelf.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. It
It's
totally is.
going sideways
said,
and overhang.
I feel like it's almost a must own. And like I said, I don't love the film, but I just love the care and attention that's not only gone into the physical release, like the actual packaging and all the paraphernalia that comes with it, but all the content on there as well, because it's got everything the Vinegar Syndrome one does. Plus, it's got so much more content. This is about as definitive a release as you're going to get ever of the Keep. I think, I think any other label would be frightened when they saw this and they're like, nah, just don't even bother.
Yeah, this is the end of the line for the Keep.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's the amazing
Just cross
thing.
it off the list after this.
It took so long to get this thing even on DVD, and Viavision were the first ones in the world to get it to DVD. Then it took eons to get it from then to to a high def format, and it's gone straight to 4K.
And they were the ones that got him on board to do all the junkets for Last of the Mohicans when they released that. Like, and yet I would have think this is the movie that really he should get behind and fucking.
He's completely
I don't know.
Yeah, he's disowned it because he wasn't happy because the studio really walked all over him, and there is the supposed other cut, but I believe all those elements are either long lost or they're buried so deep in Paramount's vault, and he doesn't want to do anything with it, and Paramount don't want to do anything.
Like, do you remember? Was it Oliver Stone refused to put Talk Radio into that big Oliver Stone box set? So it had every film he'd ever made except for that one because he didn't write it. He didn't originate the script. Like, what a.
And yet, it's the one, thanks to Triple R, whose dialogue is most in my head. Pornography and slasher films. Pornography and slasher. Ernest Bogosian lives rent free in my brain because of Talk Radio, not because of fucking Platoon or any other Oliver Stone film.
Michael Wincott's great. Anyway, sorry, you were the guy that invented the Rewind and Digress podcast. We've certainly done a lot of digression.
Oh, have we not?
I promised before we came on. I promised I wouldn't say anything. Too. I was like, I'll keep quiet. We'll get through it.
I'm going to keep it lean and mean. I'm going to stay silent.
I think Jarrett's on a tight deadline here. We better get through this. And Ben's like, right, I won't say anything.
All right. So the very last thing before I leave,
he's the one that keeps talking.
I just want to talk about this one briefly. I told you guys I'd get it, and I did.
I watched it the other night.
It's a masterpiece.
It is.
It's beautiful. A masterpiece.
Breaks my
beautiful
heart
release too. Absolute beautiful. I've held on to the Criterion release just because it's got some different content, but the transfer on this 4K release is different from the Criterion. The Criterion has a slightly different color grade to it, which it never really sat right with me. Whereas this looks magnificent, like in 4K and Dolby Vision, looks pristine. But in terms of like the special feature content, it's got all the archival MGM stuff. Doesn't port the stuff from the Criterion release, but the most important thing is it's got this feature-length doco on it.
Have you given it
I
a
had
shot
not
yet?
seen because it played MIF. Yeah, fantastic doco.
You reckon? I hated it.
I really liked it. You really?
Yeah. It was
really
so
liked
much shit in there that didn't need to be there. Like, they spent 5 minutes of just fucking scenery in between talking heads and shit. Like, yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was quite artistic.
The opening was
really
great.
well put
with
together.
John Voight's little pre-credit story. That was great.
And then this bad boy, the other disc that's in the set with the 4K and the Blu-ray, and there's a couple of new features on there. There's like a Q&A from Santa Barbara Film Festival in 1998. Really interesting Q&A. But then there's also kind of an off-the-cuff interview in the foyer with John Schlesinger as well, talking about like his career, particularly about the films that he made in the UK prior to coming to the US and doing Midnight Cowboy, because that was his first American film. Like Darling and Through the Maddening Crowd and that. But yeah, it talks about Darling. So but yeah, really solid release. I was so happy. Like, but I will hold on to the Criterion because, like The Graduate, I've kind of got to have
everything.
I want classic Dustin Hoffman movies with all the features.
Can I say,
I'm looking forward to when they're going to do Papillon. Love that film.
100%.
When are they going to do a good edition? Like, every time that comes out, it's so void of extras. It's so overdue for a proper edition. Maybe when they do the 4K eventually, it's going to be in one of those, surely in those Columbia box sets that they do, the Columbia Classics.
Oh, well, there you go. That's why it's Sony. So they're a bit touchy.
They're holding
with the
out to do. Yeah, exactly.
Never mind, the moment's gone. Keep going.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's my recommendation. It's definitely worth the double dip. I mean, first place in the world to get it on 4K UHD here in Australia. So very excited about that one, gentlemen. Anyway, that's it for me for, I guess, this month. So
that was fairly loaded.
That was, it's a big month.
I tried to keep it lean and mean, but by keeping it lean and mean, I kept it lean in terms of the new films that were coming out on physical media, because look, the older I get, the less I care about newer films. Occasionally I do go and see them, or I catch up with them on streaming, but I'd say more often than not, I'm reminded they don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, we are turning into grumpy old men.
I was going to say, I remember
we certainly are.
I remember 15 years ago talking to Lee Gambon and be like, I don't watch new films. And I'm like, really?
Now you know why.
I know.
And now you're like,
I know.
I
I'm
agree
shocked.
with him.
He would be so happy to see us saying these things right now. But I tell you, there's nothing worse than walking out of a cinema going, "Fucking, I left the house for this. I could have stayed home and watched 2 films, maybe even 3
Yeah,
films.
should have just
dude,
waited for
And I left the
screening.
house for this."
Next month's going to be interesting. You'll have your work cut out with you with all the new stuff because it's huge.
October's huge, and I feel like they just keep loading it with more and more
Yeah.
titles. I don't know why. And the one I'm most excited about, sneak a bit of a spoiler alert, is that Nightmare on Elm Street set.
Yes.
I'm very excited about that one.
Just
So,
when I
yeah.
finally upgrade, they fucking going.
Did you only just get the Blu-ray of
maybe
Nightmare on Elm
maybe
Street?
2 years ago, but still.
Oh, okay,
like,
yeah, but no, that's right, because I think I've had it for about a decade.
Let's just
so,
say like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't watched them all yet. Like, on
Yeah.
the-
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, well, there you go. Just in time for the 4K
I've only got the
set.
number
And-
4 on Blu-ray. I'm like, I was looking forward to the rest, and now they're fucking doing a 4K.
Oh no, but that's a good thing because 5 is going to be presented uncut for the first time since home video.
Nice.
So you'll get the full uncut version. The Dream Child. Spoiler alert: it doesn't make the film any better though. Still the same fucking movie.
I reckon half the time.
Is
they
it
don't.
Stephen Hopkins that directed that?
Yep,
The guy
yep.
Predator 2, the Aussie.
Yep.
That directed it.
Yep.
Aussie or New Zealand? Was he Aussie or New
Aussie.
Zealand? I feel he's Aussie.
Yeah, we
yeah.
claim if he's from New Zealand, we claim him anyway.
Well, we need Dangerous Game on Blu-ray. Like, why hasn't that
Yeah.
happened? Like, that's a great film. But anyway, look, that's just ramblings from an old jaded bastard. Anyway, gentlemen, I'll leave you be, and until next time,
Stay physical.
The keys to going slow.
So, yeah.
Ease yourself into it.
Stay.
Yeah,
Physical.
just
And when everyone's
speed
in,
that one up
finish.
in post.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, we time for our interview. Lorin Clarke, as I said at the very top of the show, daughter of John Clarke, New Zealand / Aussie icon of comedy. New documentary is called But Also John Clarke. Fantastic sort of retrospective look at his life and career. And
It's another one that just had a couple of very successful screenings at MIF.
it certainly did. I adored the man. Death in Brunswick was a big one for me. Foot Rot Flats, the stuff they did on the Current Affair, like he was
The Clark and Dorr
Yeah.
interviews. That's how it is this weird thing. We didn't kind of talk about it in the interview, but it does kind of get mentioned. But there, when he kind of got big here, there were 5 TV channels, and I think just about everyone's dad watched a Current Affair.
Yep.
Like they watched Yarn Event on a Current Affair. It was a part of my childhood, and there was not like we had a TV in every room. That was what was on the TV.
Yeah.
So you watch, and it was always happened to be at dinner time. So if you watch TV at dinner time, you're watching a Current Affair. So the only part of a Current Affair that I ever enjoyed
the end.
was their part, and most of the jokes went completely over my head.
Yep.
But it was still gold.
Like I mentioned in the interview, that was our introduction to politics, and we
Politics,
didn't know
yeah.
it. We didn't know it. I just was amused by the fact that he was playing a different famous person every time, and it's like, but with the same voice and the same face
And the same clothes.
yeah, hilarious. Anyway, Lorin Clarke is his daughter. We spoke to her. Enjoy, and we'll catch you after that for a movie battle.
What's that? What is it?
My whole life, people asked me what it was like to have John Clarke as a dad.
Shot of Lorin's father. Here's a daughter.
There's a beach down there.
That is a lesser spotted smartass.
His audience felt they knew him personally.
This is the most exciting I've ever seen London. I've never seen this many people, and I personally have seldom been this excited.
Putting the rapier in deep.
He was utterly unique. He could write, he could perform, he could knock up a poetry. There's nothing he couldn't do.
What makes someone go on to become a satirist in 2 countries? If we're starting the story of you and how you came to be you, where do we start?
The actual key to him is his absolute visceral loathing of authority.
I remember the headmaster saying to me, "We are going to break your spirit." So I thought, we'll bring it on, son.
He always said his strength was that he came from his audience.
Yeah, g'day. How you doing? All right? It's the story.
Get out of there!
He said, look, we can actually have fun with who we are. Kind of like a kick in the head with a gumboot that we all kind of needed.
We don't know how lucky we are, mate. We don't know how lucky we are.
There was an enormous fuss about it, of course.
Television got bombarded with letters saying that I was a disgrace.
Fred Dagg might have made quite a few people laugh lately, but the Prime Minister is not one of them.
It's almost like he knew them personally too.
Was that you?
No?
Must have been me. Sorry.
Sorry, everyone.
No, don't be. It's fantastic to meet you, and really appreciate you making time for us. Still
You
connected?
too. No, it's great to. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good to
'Cause
go.
I'm saying things and you can't hear me. Your hand up or something.
Congratulations on the film and all of those MIF screenings. It's a wonderful tribute to your dad.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to have it out in the world and outside of my head in the edit room and Alec Morton, the editor. It's there's nothing like sharing, like having a laugh in a cinema with a whole lot of people. So I really enjoyed the screenings that I got to go to. Lots of fun.
Has the response been overwhelming? Because what I've been looking at online has been like it's been a massive response to this.
Yeah, it's been pretty beautiful, and I feel like there are a few things that I sort of like I've noticed just over this last little while that I sort of hadn't noticed before. One of them is that I think maybe this, and it might be my dad's work, but it might be the era of like the media at the time. But people, when they talk about watching Clarke and Daw or Fred Dagg or the games or whatever, they tend to talk about who they watched it with.
Right.
You know, and there's such a lovely community thing of, I watched that with my dad when I grew up, or I didn't know what they were talking about, but my parents were pissing themselves or whatever. and so so that sort of, you get a little bit of that feeling, like if you're sitting in a cinema and there are people down here and there's a group of them and a bit comes on, you see them go, oh, you know, this is the thing we laughed at that time, you know. So that's been a lovely thing to watch, really, because I suppose in its original form that would have happened in lounge rooms, and here it gets to happen in a cinema, and so people have their favorite bits and pick up on different things. So yeah, I've been really gratified by that, and also, yeah, a little surprised by that community feeling of we all were part of this together, which is a lovely thing.
Yeah, for a lot of people our generation, he was also our gateway to politics. Like, we didn't know what they were talking about, but we just knew it was funny, you know, when they were doing that little bit.
Yeah, that's it. And I think another thing I thought watching it recently was there is like a big part of, like, from the one thread that goes through from his early work as Fred Dagg, which I wasn't around for. I wasn't online for that bit yet. All the way through to sort of, you know, the interviews that he did with Brian Daw and the games and so on. One of the things that is always there is rhythm. You know, like, you can just absolutely, like, there are things that you can pick up on and you can get even if you don't get it. And there are examples, like if you go online and look at the Clarke and Daw YouTube page, it's full of people going, you know, I'm from Finland and I don't know who Senator Collins is from 1989 or whatever. But this just made me laugh, you know, or this happened, something similar to this just happened in, you know, the island of blah blah where I live. So I think there are things that you can kind of get into because the humor works, and then you're off, you know. And if you kind of start to pick up on the politics and the messages, then you kind of, it's your gateway drug.
Yeah, go on, Ben.
I was going to say, but you know, the thing about especially the kind of all of the Clarke and Daw interviews was that it taught you to love being gaslit, because it was so obviously a lie that he just committed to 100%, and it was, you know, and you just, like, even though you knew that it was ridiculous, that it was, but he was so straight in delivering it and so sincere. It was amazing.
That's a beautiful way of putting it. He always loved, there was a person who said to him, it was a woman in a supermarket or something, and he always reported as one of his favorite bits of feedback about Clarke and Dore, about those interviews. And it was, I love your interviews that you guys do on the telly. I watch them these days. I've watched them for years, but I watch them these days. I watch them with a straight face, and then I laugh at the news. That's the gaslighting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you go, I'm decoding this, I'm decoding it, and then I watch real life, and I'm like, I see what you're doing there. Yeah.
I mean, you kind of think, do they teach it in school? Like when you go and learn how to be like I don't know what they are, like a press agent or something like that for anyone. Like they must show those interviews and go, no, you just deny, carry on, just, act like it's 100%. You're in control and you know exactly what's going on and everything's fine and
Yeah.
the other person is wrong.
Yeah, well, interesting you should say that, because he always said that, that I describe in the film how Clarke and Dore started in print and then went to radio and then went to Channel 9. But he always said that the moment that it went to television was kind of a significant moment in a way, because that was the moment where people, so if you picture it, it was kind of, 4 TV channels or whatever. 60 Minutes is a flagship show that people tune into and learn about the world and so on. And he said, so people had come to an understanding of the grammar of television that was a little more sophisticated than it had been before. And they knew that politicians had media training. They had a new haircut when they got elected. There was a time when we used to laugh because Dad and I figured out, Dad probably figured out, and I thought it was hilarious, but that they were taught not to point. And so they did this thing where they went like this. And you just see everyone do it for like friggin' 2 years, And so they had this training and they had this, like, looked polished or whatever. And he said, and your audience is reading that, right? So the timing of that moment where they came on dressed as themselves and stripped it back to just the language and the ideas or whatever. That was very much in being conscious of that sort of media moment, that exactly what you're saying, that training that the politicians were receiving. And as a result, I remember people, when the games was on TV, people were asking, so who's the mole that you have inside the Olympic and things like that. But it wasn't, he always said, you could make the games could have been about any institution, could have been about the ABC, could have been about, I don't know, the police. Like it was more that it's picking up on all of those tricks that a system provides, the sort of the garnishing that we build around the people inside of the system, which is fun.
Well, I've since watching the games, I've never trusted that the 100-meter track is a 100-meter track.
I saw somebody sent me this morning on Instagram, an American friend of mine sent me, apparently I'll have to look it up, but I only saw it in passing, but apparently they are moving the venue of the swimming in the Olympics, or they're contemplating it, because the pool's not wide enough.
Yeah.
So like those things are kind of, I mean, they're there for the taking, and it's fun that people spot that. I think.
They should just get the council to put in an extra lane.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Most documentary filmmakers have to travel afar and do years of research, on their subjects, but you had this wealth of assets sort of at your disposal right from the start. But what was the biggest challenge for you, just putting this together in general?
Yeah, the challenge was exactly the flip side of what you just said. So early on in the process, I spoke to Paul Horan, who's in the film, he's a history nerd and a comedy nerd and a Kiwi who knows about comedy. And he said to me, I said, I'm thinking of sort of doing this story and using, the family videos and using the conversations I recorded with Dad and, that stuff. But also, I do know a lot about his work, and I sort of thought maybe, we could do it we wanted to do it as a feature, but there was so much stuff that you could probably have. There were several different ways you could do it. So I was sort of proposing this to Paul. I was saying, what do you think? And he said, I mean, whatever you do, you're going to have the opposite problem to most documentarians. You've got too much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you haven't done an interview, you've got too much stuff. You've got like oceans of archival. But Dad didn't throw out an envelope, so there were like 100 boxes of hilarious stuff. Like, and some of the things that are on the edit room floor are like devastating because there are funny stories. There's interesting stuff in there that he learned along the way, So he was dead right. It was a bit of a nightmare, trying to basically, tell. Have what sort of in the end wanted it to feel like was you're sort of falling through his life a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna grab a few things on the way down that you haven't seen before, and you're gonna also see all the things you've seen before. And there's gonna be stuff there that you're like, where's that thing? And you'll have to go and Google it later because it's not in there. You'll have to go and watch the Senator Collins front fell off interview because it's not in the film. But that process of sort of presenting like a storyline that is light enough to not weigh down the material, that was so hard. That was really so hard. And particularly because, we had so many things. So there was also that there was a bunch of there were some readings that people did, brilliant performers kindly agreed to do, which they were readings of Dad's words. And that was from a document that Dad had been working on and we found after he died, which was, the document was called For Lorin and Lucia, which is my sister's name. And it was his whole life written out. So I knew that we had some stuff that nobody else had that sort of, to me, made it like a richer story. And my mum said, if you do it, we wouldn't want it to be a hagiography. We wouldn't want it to be, here's this genius who did hit after hit after hit after hit after hit, the end, we wanted it to, it's actually a more interesting story than that because of how he came to be the person he came to be and what decisions he made to get there and all of that. So it's a tribute because he was a pretty cool cat and a fun guy, but it's also, I wanted it to be a little deeper than that. So if you good luck trying to do that with all material. So that was the biggest challenge. We knew it would be, and it really was.
One of the things that I think made it that much deeper than the average sort of documentary or biographical documentary is the fact that you put yourself in a lot of those interview situations, like the talking head situations, which gave it much more of an emotional sort of foundation. What was your intention putting yourself in there?
Well, that's lovely because I wasn't sure about that at all, but I wanted, there is something very joyful about 7 years after he's gone. I get to hang out with his friends again,
mm-hmm.
right? And the people that he worked with. And maybe the stories I already know, and maybe we're talking together about what's interesting about the story. But doing that together, it sort of needed to feel a little bit like a collaboration, I think, or it needed to feel like it was a moving, breathing thing as well. And yeah, so we toyed with a few ways of doing it, but in the end, I wore the same godforsaken jumper in every single thing because I sort of thought, I sort of would like to be, in some ways his daughter sitting at the kitchen table asking his mates some questions, like
100%.
have that element of it. Even though, it did also, there was also an element of, like, I have a bit of a background in radio. So there was something, it felt a little sometimes like doing a radio interview with people where you would just say, hang on, what that thing you just said, can we go and do that? So it had that, but if I hadn't been part of it, and I didn't want to look like a journalist either. I didn't want to, be the kind of point. But yeah, that was more what that was about. And it is funny because it sort of made it harder to edit in some ways.
Sure.
And somebody said to me at the end of one of the screenings, how hard was it to edit you and your dad? Because you finish each other's sentences and talk over each other all the time. And I thought, yes, you noticed that. And there was a bit of that in this, but it sort of, and so there was a risk that it sort of looks a bit kind of clumsy, but I wanted to do that in exchange for the kind of intimacy is a weird word, but the immediacy of it or something.
I feel like I connected with your dad because you were there. Like, you disarmed your guests, and like you said, you're like a little girl at the kitchen table. Like, they're telling stories about your dad, and you're soaking it up, and that really, for me, was like the strength of the movie. Particularly like Anne Edmonds. Like, I saw a side of her that I've never seen before. Like, her character was off, and like the cloak was removed.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I loved that I got to like that we were able to sort of bring some people who wouldn't necessarily be associated with him, like Ernie Dingo's another one. Ernie Dingo's in the doco. He's in it for 5 seconds, and I interviewed him for 3.5 hours, and I reckon from the cutting room floor, you could make a 7-part series about Ernie Dingo. He's fascinating. But being able to talk to people like that who I don't know them that well. I don't know. Those are two examples of people I don't know terribly well, about the sort of moments where they intersected, which the Ernie Dingo was when he was quite young. He turned up at the Melbourne Comedy Festival. It was the first ever Melbourne Comedy Festival, or the second, or one of those ones. And Dad was running a thing called Humorists Read Humorists, where he was encouraging funny people to like bring to the stage something that you think is funny and perform it, or read it. And Ernie Dingo turned up, and he read The Diary of a Settler, complaining about the natives as comedy. And apparently it was A, hilarious, and B, gut-wrenching and kind of brilliant, right? And so that's not the only time their timelines intersected, but I just thought people like that, being able to sort of, like you said, show a different side of them, or like invite them into the story in a way that kind of maybe shows connections that other people might not know are there, because there are a lot of people who are often called upon to talk about Dad, and they'll be the same people because that makes sense, So this was a little, I really did want to kind of spread say, here's an artistic creative community, and look at the way that the interplay between all of them.
For sure.
Did you discover that there was a difference between work dad and home dad in talking to all of these people that you perhaps didn't know that well?
No, I didn't, because I used to sit in Dad's office and would, sometimes people would tell a story when I was interviewing them, and I'd think, oh, I know, because I was on the other end. I was sitting at the desk next to you, and you were having that conversation. So I sort of, like we never worked together creatively, except that we did table reads at our house of each other's scripts, and we, talked all the time about our work. Like I really did a sort of an accidental apprenticeship with him. But so it wasn't so much that, but what I loved and loved discovering, and you touched on it earlier with the people saying, oh yeah, your dad, Anne Edmonds, for instance, she says, yeah, and that's when I thought about asking your dad or something. And there's something about, like, I know all those stories,
Yeah.
but being welcomed into it yourself, it's a kind of beautiful, like, the cliches about catharsis and creativity and so on are well established, but there is something really beautiful about finding yourself in the middle of being invited into the story again, particularly with the New Zealand stuff. When I went to New Zealand, I found myself moved quite often because I hadn't been in that part of the timeline. My character hadn't arrived yet. So here I was being invited in, and it was, there was a sort of, there wasn't anything surprising, but what surprised me was how lovely it was to have those conversations 7 years on. And I think if we'd had them earlier, they would have been sad conversations, but there was that, but that wasn't the main thing. The main thing was joy,
Amazing. We've just about run out of time. Before we chuff off, I want to just touch upon one thing that was not included in the documentary, but being fanboys that we are, and you can see it's behind Ben, Foot Rot Flats wasn't mentioned in the film. That was an entry point for our generation, and it's the one thing I think that your dad, that crossed the divide, because he was a cult icon in both countries, but that's the one thing that both countries really connected with. Is there a reason that wasn't in there?
Main reason is space. Second reason is there's a lot of, he half did it. It was a Kiwi project where he was already in Australia.
Yep.
For some of it. Then for some of it he wasn't, and then they sort of shipped him over, and so the telling of the story was right in the middle of a bit that needed to be clean.
Mm-hmm.
And it is one of those things where people do associate him with it. But it's also, there are a couple of things that we left out or that are hardly in it at all, which the reason we went through and we had the timeline written out. And eventually you had to go, right, well, that happened, and that happened. But what point is each of those making?
Yeah.
And if there wasn't a really clear, different point, storytelling wise, you kind of go, well, people can go and watch that online, or people can, look into
For sure.
But so it was more a storytelling decision than anything else.
You should have just blamed Dave Dobbin. That's what I reckon.
Yeah. you couldn't get the rights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am curious, just before we have to go, how long was the assembly cut?
Oh, define assembly cut. I mean,
13-part series on the ABC.
Oh my God. We had so many. It was way too long, way too late in the process. So I feel like there was just a suspended period of months of just the editor and me locked in a room, and like 57 people on the door going, and us going, we're nearly there, we're nearly there. And just having to, but it was way too long. And several times we said this could be a 10-part series.
Yep.
But that is the creative process. Like, I love that part. That bit where it gets really bloated and you go, I can't see how to get us out of this, but I know we'll get there. And you'll lose some darlings. There is a lot that I, that still somewhere, but that's the joy of making something. And to me, that was the part where that's another part I was kind of surprised by, was like, oh yeah, that's right. This is a creative process and this is what I love doing. And I don't know, you never know. You can never imagine what John Clarke would think or say about something exactly. You can think, I can imagine he'd have something funny here, but he was so good at getting to the nub in a surprising way that sometimes you can't see that coming. But I do have a sense of his sort of sensibility a little bit, and I was in consultation with my family, and so that being able to sort of trust, particularly the first time I've directed a feature before, so you kind of, but you think, no, but I know it's going to happen. But I reminded myself of Dad and Ross, who wrote the games together.
I listen to him every morning.
Gorgeous. He is their production company. You may know this then, Glenn. Their production company is named after the expression that my mother heard a lot when she would walk through the kitchen at our place and see them hissing themselves with laughter. And it was, hour 8 of them doing so. And she'd say, how's it going? How's it going, guys? And they would say, yeah, good. Yeah, we're nearly there. We're putting on the finishing touches. And Finishing Touches is the name of their production company.
It's great.
They will touch it.
You paused at the end there, but this is a perfect opportunity.
Oh, you've paused too now.
Oh, no. Thanks for making time for us, Lorin. It's a beautiful, beautiful testament and tribute to your dad. We loved it.
You guys, thank you so much. It's very nice to talk to you both. Sorry about my internet.
2008. Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd issues a heartfelt apology to Australia's Indigenous population and the stolen generation. When asked about reparations, he replied, "The milky bars are on me."
And by movie battle, what you meant to say, Glenn, was the year 2008.
Correct. See, I told you should have fucking done that intro for the interview. Bring us in.
But okay, so 2008, the year that I thought was last week.
Yeah.
So I was. This was a great week for me. I didn't have to do that much prep because I'd already done it.
AKA the beginning of the end, the birth of MCU.
Yeah, right.
Iron Man.
The first Iron Man, and what a banger that was.
And I think Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, came out the same year. I think they did 2 MCU in the one year, trying to kickstart this whole universe like with a bang.
Yeah,
and that movie tanked.
But let's go through the top 10 because it is a pretty phenomenal year for franchise starters.
Yeah, all right, do it.
So at number 10, Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. So we're already in the 3rd of the Narnia films by that point.
We only got to 3. That was the second one, wasn't it?
Oh, is it Prince Caspian the second one?
The Dawn of the Voyage Treader was the last. Dawn Treader.
So that's 3rd. So then it must be. So
I don't remember.
What's the order?
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, that's number 10.
The franchise died. It's getting revitalized next year.
Yeah. Well, because as a kid, did you make it up to like the Silver Chair and all of those?
No,
I didn't make it that far in
Greta
the books.
Gerwig's doing the next one.
Yeah, right.
So that'll be interesting.
Both of us said that with different inflections.
With the same sentiment.
Number 9, Wall-E,
mm-hmm.
which I feel like was not, but I feel like it's one of the last original Pixar offerings before. I don't know, when did he get cancelled? When did John Lasseter get cancelled?
I think he came back from it though as a short cancellation. I think.
No, he's still out.
He's still out.
He's still out in the cold. Like that was I don't know when. I have no idea who's in charge, who runs the show at Pixar now. So number 8, Iron Man, as you said. Number 7, Quantum of Solace. So the second Bond,
which is the only Bond film to be an actual sequel.
Yeah. Madagascar, Escape to Africa. So it's actually a lot of sequels, really. Mamma Mia was number 5.
Terrible.
Hancock, which is I find shocking, is on this list.
I know.
Kung Fu Panda at number 3. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull at number 2.
Now we're talking.
And The Dark Knight, number 1.
Yeah. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Why do I do this all the time?
Yeah, only you can answer that question, Glenn.
I caught myself doing it. I had a flashback to all those times I've edited videos and seen myself go.
Look, I ask myself the same question whenever I watch videos back of me, and I'm like, why is my mouth always open?
I'm just doing this so I can put it on the poster. Excellent.
I'm going to show, and I've got no teeth. My teeth have disappeared, and my mouth is open.
Your teeth haven't disappeared. Your mustache has gotten bigger.
Yeah, it's my daddy walrus.
Okay,
if you're an Astro Boy fan,
that is an interesting. I know where you're going with that. That's an interesting top 10.
It is an interesting top 10. But yeah, so it's a lot of franchises, and that's the beginning of the end of the studios. Really.
And there are many more sequels in this list. Obviously, there's always going to be sequels. Starting with you got Rambo.
I was going to say I've divided my list into 4 categories.
Tell me about
I'm
it.
I'm curious.
No, tell me about it.
Cheesy films, rom-coms, great films, and horror films.
Short list, the great films.
The great look. Should I go through? I'll go through my list of great films.
I'm happy for you to take this entire segment
do the whole
yeah.
thing. Well, I'll go through my list of great films. See if you agree or disagree with any of these.
Great films. Yep.
So great films: Rambo.
Great film.
In Bruges.
Great film.
Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day.
No opinion.
My Blueberry Nights.
No opinion.
Do you remember this one?
Yeah, I do.
Red Belt.
Oh, great film.
The Fall. Tarsum Singe.
Good film.
Wall-E. The Whackness.
Yeah, that's Dustin Hoffman.
And Ben, not Ben Kingsley.
Was it Dustin Hoffman? No.
Was it Ben Kingsley?
Oh, might have been Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
It's about this kid, and I can't remember the name of the kid.
Is this the Noah Baumbach film?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
and he's like, he basically spends his summer holidays selling dope with his therapist.
That's right. I think you're right.
Choke. Miracle at Santa Ana, the Spike Lee film.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Pride and Glory.
Oh, yeah, is that the Christian Bale one?
Edward Norton. And Colin Farrell.
Yes.
I believe. No, sorry, I'm going to pronounce it correctly. Schenectady, New York.
Charlie Kaufman movie.
The Charlie Kaufman film.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Rock and Roller.
Yeah, it's okay.
Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Okay.
Milk.
Good.
Gran Torino.
Great.
I've never seen it. I put it here anyway. Day the Earth Stood Still.
No, very average.
Very average. The Wrestler.
Great.
Benjamin Button. Marley and Me.
Oh,
fucking heck.
traumatizing.
Traumatizing. Defiance.
Yeah, pretty good.
Hunger.
Don't know that one.
I think that's the Christian Bale one. Is that the Christian Bale one?
I don't know. Without the poster, I can't tell.
Son of Rambo.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Rambo?
Really good.
Trans-Siberian.
Good, Brad Anderson.
Yeah. And Largo Winch, which I've talked about on the show, which is a French film.
Yeah, haven't seen.
So look, I'll just quickly run through the horror films because I know that certain people will get very upset if we don't. Cloverfield, The Eye, Spiderwick Chronicles, which I highly rate. Diary of the Dead. Doomsday I put into horror. It's not really
I would
horror,
too.
but it's Neil Marshall, so it's close enough.
Horror adjacent.
Horror adjacent. Funny Games.
Yep.
The Ruins, Prom Night remake. Zombie Strippers, Jenna Jameson's feature film debut.
Course.
The Strangers, The Happening, Midnight Meat Train was a big one.
Great
Quarantine, Max Payne, Saw 5, Repo the Genetic Opera, which is a big one for the internet kids. Time Crimes, Martyrs, Pontypool came out this year. I'll finish the other ones. The Children, Eden Lake, Red Mist, Tokyo Gore Police came out this year.
Yep.
And then a little film called Regurgitated Sacrifice, which not many people will have heard of. directed by this guy Lucifer Valentine, who is I guess he's an avant-garde torture porn filmmaker.
Yeah.
The reason I came across this film is because it stars the Soska sisters before they had made any films.
I remember. Yep.
And it is super weird. Like it's very full on. There's spiders coming out of vaginas. There's people with half their brains hanging out of their heads. There's all sorts of stuff. I think they make out with it.
I feel like this movie had a revival after the Soskas.
After they got big. When I first met them, when they came out for Monster Fest, and it came up in conversation, and they're like, "Oh, did you see that? What did you think?" And my response at the time was, "Well, it was a tough wank."
Channeling some Sean Locke.
It was years before that, but I was like, it was. And they found that very amusing.
Of course they would.
But there's some films that came out this year. I've put this in the cheesy films that I think I haven't put them in as my picks for your favorite films of the year, but I know that you will have loved them.
Okay.
They're parody films.
Ooh.
So
I like this.
Disaster movie came out this year.
Oh, rubbish.
Superhero movie came out this year. Meet the Spartans came out this year.
Rubbish.
An Extreme movie came out this year.
Rubbish. And the two directors of those, is it Freidenberg or something like that? The two directors, their duo, have been ranked the worst directors of all time. The last movie they did is the only one I enjoyed, and it was the Fast and the Furious parody that was just called Super Fast, Super Furious. And it had a picture of like the Vin Diesel character on the front in a little Tonka car,
right?
Which I thought that in and of itself was funny.
I feel like also this year, I feel like it was the beginning of the end of Roland Emmerich's phenomenal run.
Rain.
Because 10,000 BC came out this year.
Yeah.
And I feel like that and maybe Anonymous were the two films that led to
Moonfall.
Moonfall and
he made a little
Geostorm?
He made a little indie LGBTQ movie in between called Stonewall.
Right.
That was
never
just an indie film that was quite good, but you would never have known he directed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, right.
Interesting. Well, it's also the year of Jamie Blanks' Long Weekend.
Yes, which has got what's the other name? I've got the DVD that you lent me at home.
Oh, Grave Danger.
Grave Danger, that's right.
Australia. It's the year of the Baz Luhrmann Australia, which I love particularly the Faraway Downs miniseries they created from it.
Which
I love it. I don't know why people hate on this movie.
I just don't understand how it exists. Not Australia.
Yeah.
The miniseries.
Yeah, because everyone supposedly shat on the movie, but I guess it made enough buck overseas to warrant some kind of.
Look, I'm sure it made enough buck here too. It's It's like, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which we will talk about because I know you love it. A lot of people shat on that too.
Yeah.
Yet it is the number 2 film of the year.
I would love at some point for you to watch the Faraway Downs miniseries. You don't need to watch the movie, watch that because it's the movie plus more.
Right.
And just get your opinion, in hindsight.
Going back on it, it's not that I hated it. What I had the biggest problem with was that was the start of Nicole Kidman's plastic surgery adventure.
And the period didn't.
And I just, I can't. Yeah. Like, even watching 1927 and Helen Mirren, and you're like, I mean, despite all the work you've tried to have done, you still look your age.
Yeah.
But
do you know the one thing I found? I don't want to lament on this movie particularly for long, but the one thing I found that the critics and more so just the audience missed with Australia was the fact that it was like a love letter to the Cheval movies of the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
The Chips Rafferty type films.
The Sundowners,
the Coral Sea.
All that kind of stuff. And if you have that in mind, which I think the title Faraway Downs works much better.
Yeah.
If you have that in mind, it's like it's a glorious soap opera melodramatic adventure.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's guess each other's favorites.
Okay. Just quickly before you do, I do want to mention there's another couple of films that came out this year that are in my cheesy films list. Speed Racer, The Foot Fist Way, which was the beginning of Danny McBride's kind of career.
That was a great movie too.
Pineapple Express, Tropic Thunder was a big one this year. Death Race. Jason Statham had a big year.
Well, so did Danny McBride.
Yeah. Jason Statham did Death Race.
Mm-hmm.
He did The Bank Job, and he did In the Name of the King.
And Rock and Roll.
And Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
Like he had a big year.
In the Name of the King, the Uwe Boll movie that
movie.
ended up having like 2 or 3 sequels.
And well, it was the one, I don't know if it was the first one that, I think because Postal is 2007, I think. But this is the one, and if you've seen the Uwe Boll doco, which I highly recommend, he does talk about how, because it's, Burt Reynolds is in it, Jason Statham, I think Ron Perlman, Ben Kingsley. And how did he get these casts? It's because he went around to all their agents and said, hey, I'm shooting in 2 weeks. Who's available?
Who's free right now?
And every time they tried to argue, he said, well, if they had something on, they'd be doing it. So what do they want to do? Sit at home and do nothing or take my
Because
shitty
a lot
wages?
of people aren't aware that the average actor, like big actor, has 12 to 24 months downtime between projects.
So he was able to get these
Cash
people.
grab.
But there are 2 incredibly sleazy, amazing foreign films that came out in 2008.
Hit me with them.
There's one called À l'Aventure, which is a French film by Jean-Claude Brissot.
It's always a Jean-Claude.
Jean something or another, yeah. This movie, even the actresses were super upset. The premise of this film is that it's a film director auditioning these actresses for a very kind of, I don't know, sexually liberated film, shall we say?
Okay.
And basically, the audition process is just him watching them and they're also desperate for the job that they're basically just fucking each other in front of him.
Yeah, nice.
And he's just watching all this. It is amazing. I don't think I've never actually seen it with English subtitles, so I don't know what the fuck they're saying.
Well, that was there was a Mexican movie years ago called Homework. And it was all from the point of view of a camera under the couch filming a hammock inside a lounge room.
Right.
2 people fucking on it for the entire course of the movie. But they stopped to have meals and then keep fucking. And then there's this incredible twist at the end. But as a kid, I got the twist without needing the subtitles. It's one of those.
I mean, look, I only watched this movie in 10-minute chunks. Yeah, so it's taken me quite a while to get through it. And the second film was Love Exposure.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is a movie about it's a romance involving a upskirt photographer. It's a Japanese film. Very interesting. So okay, so let's.
Shall I guess yours? Because I feel like with mine we're going to end on a conversation.
Yeah, go for.
So I'm going to guess Hellboy 2. Is that on your list?
No.
Okay. What about Step Brothers?
Yes, that is on the list.
Tropic Thunder?
No.
Lakeview Terrace?
No. I've never seen it. Yeah.
I think you'd like it. And I've only got one more, and that would be Not Quite Hollywood.
You know what? That was on my list last week, and I missed it when I was doing this one. But that should be on my list.
Okay, so I got one.
You got one. So do you want me to guess yours, or do you want me to tell you what were on my list?
Tell me yours, and then we'll go back to mine.
Okay, so I had Rambo.
Of course.
Because that movie, I remember I saw that at the Extreme screen at Knox.
I should have had it too.
And when he gets a hold of that chain gun and the people are just getting cut in half, I remember
on the rice paddies of, was it Burma or something like that? Yeah.
I had a cinematic erection.
Yeah. And it was it's everything we wanted from the last 3 Rambo movies.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. It has never been topped. None of not since and not prior outside of the first film.
What did you think of Last Blood? We had that conversation.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah, I've watched it probably 7 times now, and it gets better every time. It was average to not bad to pretty good to I fucking love it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I definitely will have to give it another go. In Bruges.
Yeah.
The Changeling. I really rate that film.
I love Changeling.
It's another one that I think gets better the more you watch it.
It's so what's the word? Grim.
Yeah, totally grim.
Yeah.
But it ties in really well with Devil in a Blue Dress because they're similar time periods.
Capote,
and LA Confidential. That because it's that time frame.
And it's the one thing I actually really like Angelina Jolie in.
Yeah,
she's really good in it.
Taken,
of course. Okay,
and Ip Man.
the first one.
The first one, the Donnie Yen film.
How many of those? There've been 5 of those now.
5. Yeah, I think 5 is the last one. Yeah,
far out. There we go.
Was it? Yeah.
Maybe 4, I don't know. It's one of those franchises I never got into.
Okay.
All right, guess mine. I've actually got almost 10 here. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, I mean, I've got a lot here.
Okay. Well, you might get one.
Yeah. So, Doomsday?
No.
The Funny Games remake?
Nope.
The Visitor.
No.
No, didn't like that one. Red Belt.
I did like it. This is not
Just
in my
not
list.
into-
Red Belt's in there.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
100% with a bullet.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
No, I do like that. I like number 2 more.
Tropic Thunder.
No.
Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
No.
So just City of Ember, because I know you love the books.
Yeah, no.
But not the film.
The movie's good.
And Man on a Wire, the doco. About
No.
No.
And there's the Zemeckis made a movie of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got 2, so I did better than your prediction.
You did better than me guessing you.
Yeah.
So I had The Bank Job.
Right.
Red Belt. X-Files, I Want to Believe.
Yeah, right.
One with Billy
Wow.
Connolly.
Yeah.
I almost watched it ahead of this show just to discuss it.
To
but
relive it.
Yeah. Ghost Town.
With Ricky Gervais?
Yep. Love it. Changeling on my list. Outlander. The Vincent Cassell one.
Yeah, right.
Which it's
Is
nobody.
it Vincent Cassell?
Yeah. No. Sorry.
No. Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel.
Yeah.
Jesus, what am I talking
Big fan,
about?
mate.
I just think it's a very underrated movie. The concept is so glorious.
Because I feel like it. Because it
Aliens and Vikings.
Yeah, not that it got overshadowed, but I feel like Pathfinder also came out at a similar time, and Pathfinder was a bit of shit.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of tainted
It did.
Outlander a bit.
It did, but I loved it. And then the last one on my list was Not Quite Hollywood.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the top 10 of that year.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go.
So last week, if you remember when we talked about this, I said I had trouble trying to pick films for you because not many good films came out that year. When I went through it again, I was like, no, I was wrong. There's a lot of bangers. There's a lot of bangers in 2008.
Well, there's one clear movie that I would defend till the day I die on 2008.
And that's it. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. Yeah, number 4.
Which, look, I agree now. It does improve with every watch, that film.
I mean, there are concessions to make. I think there are, like, the monkey swing scene should not be there. Like, there are things in there that ruin it for me, but you remove those, and I think you've got an Indiana Jones adventure that is on par with all the others.
I think what it really suffers from going back and watching it, what really is the problem is that technology has gotten too good for what it is trying to do. Like, it does have matte backgrounds
and miniatures
and all of this sort of stuff, which is great when you're watching it on 35mm film of a certain stock with certain lights. And if they stuck to that, I think it would have been a lot better. I think, especially on the first viewing, when you first went to the cinema and everything looks, it's like watching.
Glossy. It looks glossy.
It's glossy, and you can see that it's not real and stuff. Whereas it was not, maybe it fell into the uncanny valley. And the more you watch it, the more you don't care about that stuff, the more you enjoy the film, the better it gets.
Those things I didn't pick up on until the second or third watch. So the first time I saw it, I was just so excited to have another Indiana Jones that I was in, right? And prior to seeing it, I'd read Roger Ebert's review, and he gave it 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5. Like, he said it's as good as any other Indiana Jones, and he said all the things that you can nitpick about it exist in the other films. Like, so, you know, when people might say, oh, it's so far-fetched, you know, you're like, well, show me an Indiana Jones that's not far-fetched, right? You know, and having known the history of Indiana Jones and the intentions for the 5 films, i.e. that number 4 and 5 were always intended to be science fiction and B movies with saucer men and stuff like that. I had that in my mind that this is where it might go.
And it is very much like Indiana Jones was always a 30s and 40s news serial, like that they played before the news, before films were films.
But even in the 80s, he intended the last 2 to be 1950s style serial.
Yeah.
So, you know, I love it to death. The more I watch it, the more I love it. And it's got everything all the others do. And I don't understand the hate. If you're going to hate on one, hate on number 5.
I do think also it was the beginning of the backlash against Shia LaBeouf.
Maybe.
Like, he had kind of was so big, he'd risen so fast that tall poppy syndrome hit just when this came out. And
the problem too is that you're right, he was too big for when he started, whereas, you know, you go back to River Phoenix in number 3, he hadn't peaked yet.
Yeah.
Like, he'd just done The Mosquito Coast, which is what Harrison Ford said, he did this movie with me, he's great, let's put him as young Indy.
Yeah.
And only after that did he, you know, become a Hollywood A-lister.
But he was also, there's a certain quality about Shia LaBeouf that comes across as arrogant.
Yep,
I think
100%.
Whereas River Phoenix was a lot more like Harrison Ford, like I'm here to do a job.
Very, very much. And my problem with Shia LaBeouf in Indiana Jones 4 is just simply, I think the greaser angle is too on the nose.
Yeah.
Like it's too much. Like just to set the scene, we're in the 50s, we're going to have a greaser on a motorbike that looks like Marlon Brando.
And it's really hard to come back from all that Tom from Finland stuff. That now, like in the 30s, it's cool. And then he sexualized it all into like this big kind of, homoerotic revolution.
Mm-hmm.
And now you look at it and that's all you can see. Yeah. So you're like, this is just odd.
But hey, that motorbike gave me one of my favorite chase sequences in the Indiana Jones franchise. I think that through the university.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that.
I mean, look, I have to say, it does actually have my favorite lines of dialogue of the franchise. Like when they go through that graveyard and he does it. You're a teacher? Part-time. It's the best. That just his delivery of part-time is the best delivery of a line ever.
And lo and behold, that graveyard sequence is one of my favorite Indiana Jones sequences, and it's the fakest of every set piece in Indiana Jones. Like
it's so clearly a set.
It's a sound stage.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah.
It hasn't existed in Indiana Jones in an obvious way until now.
Yeah.
But I'm going for it. Like the movie's already established that it's frivolous, and
it's when you think about it, it's actually more like the original serials than any of the previous films.
Yeah. Particularly the final moments of the UFO rising.
Yeah.
And then standing under it. Like that is the page of a comic book.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Wow, I'm glad we got to end on an Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull conversation.
Yeah, I wonder where the Boneheads go with this.
Fuck if I know.
Welcome to Bonehead Weekly Fun Size. And this week we're doing 2008. That's right. The year I don't have anything.
That came between 2007 and 2009.
Yeah.
I want James to go first because if he doesn't pick the one that I'm going to pick, I'm going second.
All right.
Oh man, I did have 4, but I've got to go with one that I just, from opening narration through all of all of its homages, all of its allusions, I've got to go with Doomsday.
I knew he was going to pick Neil Marshall's Doomsday.
Shocking. Okay.
I thought about it. I was like, well, no, one of them will pick it. It's not Neil Marshall's best film, but it is a lot of fun.
No, I just have fun with it. It's fun. It's a ton of homages to things that I love. How could I not say? And Malcolm McDowell's opening narration. I watched it a couple times during COVID because I was like, yeah, that's pretty much he was telling us COVID was coming.
Yeah. Chad, you want to go last, you say?
No, I'll go next because I'm going to be shocking because I don't want you to steal mine, and I'm surprised James didn't pick it. My favorite movie of 2008, In Bruges.
That's good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
It is my favorite movie of 2008. It's one of my favorite movies, period. I love In Bruges. Colin Farrell. And oh my God, Domhnall Gleeson? No, Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson, Domhnall's son. Yeah.
And Ralph Fiennes. I mean, the movie's phenomenal. It's about 2 guys who are holed up in Bruges trying to wait to see what happens. And just every minute of that movie is amazing. So In Bruges is my number 1 pick.
I'm going to go with one that neither one of you saw coming. Bill Engvall and Billy Ray Cyrus in Bait Shop. I've never seen the picture, but it did come out in 2008. Here's the movie in 2008. We didn't see it in the theater, but I saw it with these losers, and it absolutely shook all 3 of us. Martyrs.
That was on my honorable mention list.
Martyrs is one of those movies that will get into your DNA, and it will never let go for the rest of your life.
Don't watch the American remake.
I've never seen it. There are some American remakes at work. Let me in, being one of them. And The Girl with Dragon Tattoo, actually. However, Martyrs, dude, that movie so depressing. So I know Chad give me shit, but it is a kind of an experience. It's just not a positive. It just sticks with you. It's art.
And the ending, woof.
It is another depressing ending, 2008, but it is art. What do we got for honorable mentions?
Well, Martyrs was on mine. You took it. So I'm going to throw out one that nobody will see coming. A lot of people love Open Range, but I wanted to give a shout out to Appaloosa. Appaloosa is a Western that has one of the best, most realistic gunfight scenes in it, in that it all happens in, 10 seconds?
Yeah.
And both of them get shot. Both of the heroes get shot. And there's even the line, well, that was quick. Yes, everybody was good shots as they're sitting there tending to their wounds. It's a Western romance, I guess you could say, but a lot of people don't talk about it, but it's got a great cast, and Open Range is probably a better movie, but Appaloosa deserves some credit for what it tried to do as well. So I want to throw out Appaloosa.
I have an honorable mention. Outlander.
Is on my list, yeah.
Bizarre little movie.
That's before Jesus got to Jesus.
Yeah, and it's so much fun, and that's one that deserved a bigger budget and a bigger release, even though I don't know that people would have still like Dragon, the space, what the hey, but Outlander, dude. Check it out if you've never seen it.
I'm going to refrain from honorable mentions, so because I have too many. So
You need to do a couple.
Nah, In
Do
Bruges.
two. We're never coming back to 2008 again. It's gone.
I still can't believe nobody's mentioned Pontypool.
That's a good movie.
I love Pontypool, and then of course, Be Kind, Rewind.
You had me up until you had me at Pontypool.
We have different tastes. That's all I can say.
This has been Bonehead Weekly Fun Size.
You gonna do the sound, Glenn? Time for a movie battle.
Told you it was coming.
And it came all over my face.
Well, prematurely before.
Now, this was your pick this week.
It was.
So why don't you take us through it?
So I've chosen, clearly the connection here is two belated sequels, both number 3s. We've got Bill and Ted Face the Music and Clerks 3. A couple of reasons I've chosen this. One, that I enjoy both of them, but I wanted to revisit them. Secondly, I know you haven't seen them, so I thought this is a good opportunity for you to see them so I can stop pestering you about them, particularly Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, I don't have high hopes for you in this, but Bill and Ted Face the Music, I can officially say I've probably seen more than either of the others.
The other two.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's the best of the trilogy, mind you. Like, it's not. But I think for a movie that came, 20 years after the previous one, 20-something years.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked the conclusion. I liked the characters, particularly the robot guy. He was fantastic.
Station.
And my only bug to bear is that Keanu clean shaven is not the same as what he used to be. I reckon if they'd kept the John Wick beard but a bit scruffier, would have been a more believable. He's Ted, right? Yeah, he would have been a more believable Ted.
He looks. I don't know what it is about his face, but it seems to be getting whiter, like more like grayer. Like I was conscious of it in John Wick as well.
Yeah,
and especially in this, where you're like,
he may be just very self-conscious and
not
aware of his aging.
Yeah, like he's not tanned. Like it's like he's just not getting the sun.
But that's what I mean. Maybe he's got the makeup department. Like, just keep me toned.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Cover up the.
And when it comes
you
to
conceal it.
When it comes to Clerks 3, like I've never been, other than Clerks, the original is a great fucking film, a classic. Yeah. I've never been huge on the Kevin Smith train. I didn't like Clerks 2 very much. When this one came along, I thought the first 20 minutes, I almost turned it off. I'm like, this is really laborious. But then when the emotional shit takes hold and it gets sentimental and where it ends, I'm like, yeah, this really tugs at my heartstrings. And I think it's a lovely tribute to the Clerks canon, if you will.
Right.
So I do like both. I think Bill and Ted's the better. I'm really keen to hear your thoughts. I suspect you hate them both.
Jesus, I felt like this was your revenge for me making you watch Wolves of Willoughby Chase.
Well, this was in the pipeline long before that.
Those.
So
yeah.
I mean, I could claim that though, like because that was fucking horrendous.
Because I had a really tough time, especially with Bill and Ted Face.
Really, more than Clerks.
Look, I just didn't like Clerks 3.
Okay,
it
didn't tug at your heartstrings.
I don't even know if I made it that far in terms of consciousness.
Okay, well, I don't want to give spoilers away. But it has a very profound ending.
I just, like, as it's gone on, I've just found that making Randall more and more unlikable to the point of I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. But that's kind of the intention because the payoff flips the script on that.
Yeah, but I just... I just, yeah.
I did
But
love
Bill
like,
and Ted.
The first time I'd seen Clerks 3, though, it really annoyed me. The young guy that keeps changing his appearance, the Christian guy,
Yeah.
annoyed me. But having watched it maybe 3 times now, I loved his character this time around. Every time he'd have a new goth look or, worship Satan, like that shit, his delivery was always on point for me.
Yeah. And Bill and Ted, like the whole, like I remember, like, their accents were kind of current when the first one came out. And that was a big thing. Like that surf culture, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all of that stuff were big. The Valley Girl, all of that kind of stuff.
It's Arrested Development. They haven't.
Yeah, they haven't. I understand why they still do it. Why they still talk that way. But all my affection for that is now gone. So now it's just listening to them, these 2 fucking idiots, talk. And I was just like, for fuck. Like, the marriage counseling thing was pretty funny. I also, for me, this is the first major misstep for Samara Weaving. I thought she was terrible in it.
Well, that's funny because Ed Solomon, who wrote it, has said if the franchise goes forward, it's those 2.
It's those 2. And look, I didn't, that, them, they.
Yeah.
That's the
other one.
The Ted's daughter who, look, she's in the new, is it Tina Romero, George A. Romero's daughter's horror film?
She's sort of on the rise.
And she's playing a woman in that. She's playing a woman in that film.
Yeah.
And she's pretty good in it. Mm-hmm. But in this, I really didn't like it.
Didn't like those characters. See, they were quite in a lot of the reviews. They were the saving grace.
The
for a lot
saving
of
graces. I just like.
No, fair enough.
No,
well, did you
I
like?
just
Did you
couldn't
enjoy
do it.
William Sadler coming back as Death?
Yeah, look, can't get enough of William Sadler.
And what did you think of the robot character? I really liked him.
Yeah, look, there's certain things. Yeah, there are certain things that were kind of fun, but like just not like I thought. Because for me, even number 2, it was so outlandish that they made it. Even the wedding at the start kind of bothered me.
Number 2 is like a parody of the first one.
The first one, and so that was my limit.
Yeah.
Like I liked number 2, like I thoroughly enjoyed it, but at that point I was like, this is enough.
Yeah. What I loved most about it, and it was not necessary by any means, but I liked that it gave us closure to that one song that we've never heard that they're going to save the world with, and they give it to us, right?
Yeah.
And it's not the greatest piece of music by any means, but in the context of the film and the lead up and the build up to it, when it comes, it's glorious to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a wonderful set piece.
But how good is the song that they sing at the wedding?
Well, yeah. the Mongolian threat singing?
Yeah. It's so.
And then you got the joke about like the stepmother's now married to what
to the brother, little brother.
Yeah, that's right.
And they never get a piece.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted just can never. They both had mad crushes on her.
What was your favourite version of Bill and Ted that they met? Because the gist of this one, in number 2 they go to hell. In number 1 they're back and forth in time. In this one, they kind of in other parallel sort of timelines.
The one that they kind of hated the most, their prison alter egos was so good.
And I suspect that is why they didn't let Keanu Reeves have a beard as the regular him, because when you get to that point, it kind of wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. I like the old them too in the nursing home.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of good little bits. I just didn't work for me as a whole. And
Fair enough.
I couldn't, it's what's that saying? Buy the premise, buy the bit, and I couldn't get into the premise.
What I'm yet to do, and it's definitely a fan service film, so it was driven by the fans. They wanted a number 3. It was kind of promised in the early days and never happened. So finally, it's the original creators are behind it. I am very keen to watch all 3 back to back in one marathon because I haven't done it. To see how it fits.
Yeah, because I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff that I would have missed because I haven't seen 1 and 2 in so long, and they would be
the princesses maybe?
Watching those. Yeah. Different actresses for the princesses, which bothered me because I'm pretty sure because one of the princesses is what's her name from Better Off Dead, and I can't remember her name.
No,
she's in Better Off Dead. She's in
but they're different in all 3
Amityville
films.
2.
Different princesses in number 2 to number 1 and number 3. Like
in the first one, the princess is the Michael Dudikoff's girlfriend from American Ninja.
That's what I'm saying though. So kind of the continuity is different every time. It's like the kids from the Vacation series.
Yeah.
Switch them around.
Yeah. It's always different Rusties.
Oh, well, you have seen them, my friend.
So your mission is accomplished.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd love to talk about them for longer, just in the casual. We could have chicken wings and talk about them. I'd be quite happy. But
It should have had chicken wings. If we would have had chicken wings while I had to watch them, I may have enjoyed them more.
Well, you get a bone in your throat. You start doing that song from the start of
the. Yeah, and instead of helping me, you're just playing a triangle in the background. I've lost my headphones.
Yeah, that happened to me once. That's the effect of being shot at.
That's the sign of a good rapid fire recommendation. Why don't you kick us off?
All right, cool. I've got nothing particular to talk about as far as a single recommendation, but seeing it is the week of The Toxic Avenger, the new one, I thought, everybody, this is your moment to go back and revisit the original Toxic Avenger. And, if you will, the franchise. The other night I did whack on Toxie 3.
Yeah, I thought you whacked off to Toxie 3.
No, he whacked off in Toxie 3.
He whacked off.
Toxie 3, it's a shit movie, by any measure, really. But in the whole sort of scope of the Toxic Avenger and Troma, it is still a glorious piece of cinema. It is much more violent than I recall. But the original Toxic Avenger, what bothers me about the new one is so many people going into it that don't understand Troma and they're coming out going, oh, it's fucking shit.
Yeah.
Not knowing that, one, it's a remake or a reboot or re-imaging. And two, what the original actually represents and how important it was, for independent cinema.
And in celebration, Glenn, did you dust off your old scorecard and take to the streets of Pakenham looking for disabled people and children to hit with your car?
No. But hey, if you're sort of a lot younger than us and you're into the whole sort of, DC Marvel stuff, James Gunn got his start in Troma. That's where he began. He wrote the movie Romeo and Juliet, and he co-wrote and appears in Toxic Avenger 4, Citizen Toxie.
And if you read the two Troma books,
he co-wrote those.
He does the introduction.
He co-wrote the first one.
Yeah. And it is phenomenal.
It's the greatest filmmaking journal or guide you could ever.
The only better introduction is in the Bruce Campbell If Chins Could Kill thing, where the introduction is him trying to get it's not Sam Raimi, it's Erwin Shapiro or one of the producers to write the intro.
Yeah.
And he leaves a recording in there. He is them trying to extort him to write the intro.
So yeah, but if do you remember a little while ago, James Gunn got fired from Marvel, he got cancelled, and then DC scooped him up, and the rest is history. You really want to cancel James Gunn? Go back to Citizen Toxie and watch what he does in that film, because it is inexcusable outside of the Tromaverse.
Yeah,
but within it, it's glorious. And
even Toxic Avenger. Romeo and Juliet.
One thing you can't see from that camera angle is right above us is the Troma collection. So. It's such a glorious thing. Troma has their own streaming platform. Like, it's worth $5 a month. That's fucking great. Go see Toxie.
You can watch Cat Squad and Eve's Beach House, and is that what it's called? Eve's.
Man, there's so many great. Like
Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town.
Oh yeah, it's got Billy Bob Thornton in it. They gave rise to so many people. Vincent D'Onofrio, Kevin Costner, and goddamn Oliver Stone started with Troma. Like, it's
yeah, definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. So. Toxic Avenger. 1984, it's a banger.
Well, this week I actually got to 2 films from 2008 because I feel like I've slacked off in the last couple of weeks in terms of talking about films from the year that we're talking about.
Okay. Not that that's an assignment, by
not that it's a rule. It's just it's my rule.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, the 2 films that I'm going to talk about, neither of them, the one that I really wanted to watch and talk about, which I've never seen, is Larry Bishop's Hell Ride.
Oh, gosh.
Because I was such a huge fan of Trigger Happy, a.k.a. Mad Dog Time, and then I never saw Hell Ride. And I've had it downloaded on my computer since, I think, 2008.
This is Quentin Tarantino Presents?
Yeah. Then when I went to put it on, it was a bull riding movie. It was like it had not misgendered it, but titled it. So it's a completely different film. So I couldn't watch it. And I do have it on DVD. I just couldn't find it. So instead, and I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but I did go and see the 1,000 Women in Horror documentary of MIF. And one of the films that they showed clips of in that was Teeth.
Oh gosh,
which from 2008.
Terrifying movie.
And yeah, look, I hadn't seen it, and I thought this is the perfect opportunity, so I watched it, and I fucking loved it.
What's it about, Ben? I mean, it's a really simple premise.
It is, vagina dentata, which the gynecologist screams after he's had his fingers bitten off. And he's just, vagina dentata, it's real, vagina dentata.
This would make a great double feature with Troma's Killer Condom.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. So it stars Jess Wexler, who I've always known from, there was one indie rom-com, and she's in The Good Wife. And I hadn't seen her in any, and I was just like, who is this when she came onto The Good Wife? She's from Teeth. That's who she is. And she plays this young girl she's like she's into, she's like in the purity club or whatever it is. She goes to schools and talks to young kids about saying no and abstaining and stuff like that. And then of course she meets this other guy in the group, and of course the hormones kick in, and they start. They do, despite all of their attempts to resist temptation, they do start fooling around. And that's when she kind of discovers that she has teeth in her vagina.
Uh-huh.
And he basically, look, it is, I didn't realize it. After I watched the movie and I read a couple of reviews, it's like, she does live in a town where all the men are rapists.
Yeah.
The only man who isn't is her father, because she's got her piece of shit stepbrother, who's constantly trying to, who's always semi-raping his girlfriends. The purity guy who basically, she wants to stop, he doesn't want to stop, and basically date rapes her. She gets drugged by the nice guy at school. So she has all of these horrible experiences, but then she gets her revenge by
fucking
them and ripping their cocks off.
Yep.
Or biting them off, and to the point where they find a tooth in the first one, in the first severed penis.
Such a great concept.
It's great. And then the end it has a magical kind of end credits sequence, which is, I won't spoil for you, but definitely go check out Teeth. It is definitely worth the watch.
I agree.
And the other one I watched was a film that I remember when it came out, and I'd been meaning to catch up with it because the concept was great. It's called The Merry Gentleman. Directed by Michael Keaton, starring Michael Keaton and
I do know this one.
The internet's girlfriend, Kelly MacDonald, who is, I think, I think Jenny Agutter would have handed the baton to her as the most appealing woman on the face of the planet.
I tend to agree.
She's just, I don't know what it is about her.
You swoon every time she's on camera.
Just like, oh, Kelly. This film, Michael Keaton, it's an awkward, chaste romance between two awkward people, but one of them happens to be a hitman.
Yeah,
who's kind of, in the synopsis they make out like he's retiring. He's not really. He he just happens to be in between jobs, and he catches pneumonia. And he originally, the way that they kind of meet is that she's coming out of her office. He's just performed a hit, and it's Christmas Eve or thereabouts, and she's just come out of her office, and he's shot this guy from a building across the road, and he's standing on the edge of the thing, just kind of looking down, and just happy to be alive, kind of thing.
Yeah.
On this brisk Chicago or wherever the hell it is. And she comes out of work, and she just happens to look up and sees him and thinks he's a jumper and screams, which freaks him out, and he falls backwards onto the roof. And when she kind of reports that to the police, they put two and two together and realize that must have been the hitman.
Yeah.
And so he then kind of turns up to bump her off, but he also happens to be, because of his been out in the cold doing all this stupid shit, he has got really bad pneumonia and basically passes out in her apartment. So she kind of takes him to hospital, and they kind of end up with this, a bit of they become, good friends, kind of,
Becomes Leon the Professional.
Yeah. And then, look, I don't want to say any more about it. That's just the kind of setup.
Bobby Cannavale.
Bobby Cannavale is in it. It's got a pretty good cast.
You can't go wrong when he's in something.
No.
It's funny, isn't it funny though? The two movies that Michael Keaton directed, he's a hitman in both.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Knox Goes Away, he did last year.
Yeah.
Weird.
And in this, he is the most un-Michael Keaton-like in this because there's no manic pixie dust in him at all. Like he is
good.
Very restrained.
Excellent. And the poster, Kelly MacDonald looks like Alicia Cuthbert. I was looking at it going, hang on, she's not credited. But no, it's Kelly MacDonald.
But yeah, look, it did get a DVD release here. I don't know if it's had a Blu-ray release or it's still available, but definitely worth checking out if you can track it down.
Beautiful. Well done, mate.
So there you go. That was the show.
Go to goodmoviemonday.com and you know what to do. Hit all those social media links. Click the bell on YouTube. You'll get notified whenever we drop a new video. They are numerous and frequent and regular.
And if you see us in public, feel free to tap the bell, if you know what I mean. Ball tap.
And if you see us in public, keep walking.
We're way too famous to talk to you.
Or bring a pen at least.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.